kick to the gut. I like it.
All right, let's go. Let's go. It's Monday afternoon. You know what that means. Hey, it's Mister Young.
And it's foreign in the building, bro.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, man. I know it's 12:15. I think we came in a bit late. I'm hoping that there is we'll be talking about technical difficulties on the audio. I hope it's not so bad.
Yeah, it's okay. It just sounds like you are in the middle of a rainstorm, which is fine because, it fits the vibe of this afternoon. It's a bit of a rainy Monday afternoon. If you're in the chat, please let us know that you're here and you're enjoying us on your Monday afternoon. How are you doing, by the way?
Yeah, I'm good. Last week of Ramadan. So I guess, last week of if I still want to repent and be a good Muslim, I still got a chance to do it.
Bro.
Hari Raya already.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Pascal, it's good to see you, my man. All right, so let us know if you hear any sort of technical difficulties, like, in terms of the audio. We're still trying to tweak the thing to make it the best that it can be, right? So, yeah. Irvin, what's up, man? It's good to see you as well. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. And, as always, come join the Discord if you're listening to the podcast now after the fact, right? Not on the live stream, maybe you're at the gym, whatever it is. Of course, the podcast is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all that shit. But we talk about so much more stuff. The community is awesome on our Discord. We're sharing links, sharing stories, a lot of funny clips as well on the Discord. Link is in the description, as always.
Yeah, man. It's a great community. I love it when wrestling friends and fans, not see just fans, but friends, have a safe space to talk about wrestling, right?
Yeah, where we can just geek out and nerd out about pro wrestling. Unless, of course, you're a fan of the Young Bucks, then I might jojo you a bit and ask you what's wrong with you. But other than that, it's a joke, people. It's a joke. Relax. Referee Ryan, how you doing? Referee Ryan says
Hello.
No more restrictions tomorrow. Yes, very happy here in Singapore that tomorrow, well, not no more lah. Indoors, you still have to wear masks, right? But beyond that, outdoors and stuff like that, we're kind of back to normal. Does it feel like, bro, like after 2 years of this weird loop, we can go out, we cannot go out, we cannot go out, we cannot back and forth, it's like finally we are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. It's like back to normal. Do you get that feeling?
Bro, I feel like we just experienced the blip in real life, bro. like our life just disappeared for like 2 years. Yeah. And then now we're just finally coming out of it and like, oh, what the hell just happened? Yeah. I just got a letter from our company, right? And apparently I'm a 5-year long service award winner, bro.
5 years, bro. Congratulations. I got the 10 years one in January, actually. So,
congrats to you, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what that says about me. Maybe I'm a loyal guy. Loyal like The Undertaker and like the man we are going to talk about here today, because he has gone on record saying he's probably going to stay in the WWE for the rest of his life.
Oh, that's a great segue, bro. Like, I am excited for today's podcast because I'm talking about my favorite wrestler of all time. He is my favorite wrestler of all time, bro.
Hell yeah. Will they? Won't they? Like WWE booking, says Irvin, by the way. Great connection right there. Before we jump into anything, quick reminder that we are on Patreon as well. So if you enjoy what we do, you want to take your support one step further, hey, do consider Patreoning. Is that a term? Pledging, I guess. At whatever tier that is comfortable for you, we greatly appreciate it. Helps us make more of the content that you enjoy. Oh, I just heard. Did you hear that? Thunder.
That was definitely thunder.
Thunder and lightning, my man.
Love and Thunder is stored in your area, bro.
Bro, have you seen the trailer to Love and Thunder, by the way?
Of course, bro.
So good, bro. And of course, the mighty Thor, the new Thor, like Jane Foster, Natalie Portman, looking jacked, bro. She's not Padme. You know Padme from Star Wars?
Yeah, man, she's swole me, bro.
Yeah,
swole
no,
me.
she's Chad May. Have you seen the meme? She's Chad May.
Oh, Chad May.
Chad May.
That's a good one, bro. You know, my favorite scene from the entire trailer was Fat Thor doing a bit of calisthenics, a bit of HIIT there with the chains. Respect for him getting back in shape, bro.
Yeah, instead of the battle ropes, he has the giant size chains. I love it, man. I don't know what we like. All of a sudden, a lifestyle entertainment podcast. We're talking about like random other shit too. Why the hell not? Why though? Why not?
We have to expand our horizon. You know, if you want to make your patronship worthwhile, every single dollar that you put in will go back to the podcast and improve the quality. You know what's my dream, bro?
What's your dream?
My dream, right, is if we are able to sustain this and actually have a studio to ourselves where we can come and hang out and become like the Singapore The Bum like that, bro.
The Bum?
Yeah, you know The Bum, WWE's social media show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just can hang out there, and then if you ever get guests, then there's like wrestling memorabilia surrounding our space. Wow.
Okay.
Perfect.
Tony Khan, Southeast Asia's Tony Khan, please put your hand up. Please make some purchases and hire us. Thank you very much.
The great thing about patrons, you know, from the beginning of time is that if you like someone, I love this artist, I love this musician, I want to support them.
Yeah.
And then all these rich people like, I want to support you while you do your arts and painting. It's the same thing lah, same thing. That's the same concept, bro.
Exactly. And the great thing about Patreon and platforms like that is that you no longer have to go a roundabout way to support your favorite artists or people who do whatever, right? It's direct line there. So anyway, all that aside, are you ready to jump into some wrestling? I certainly am. So, okay, today's main focus is, of course, a bit of a look back at 20 years of the Viper, the legend killer, Randy Orton. But before we do that, of course, we want to take a look at this week in wrestling. Actually, some kind of big news, actually, not kind of, it is big news that came out on my social media feed today. I don't know if you saw it. I don't know if they just announced this, but are we looking at a third wrestling promotion in Singapore?
I saw. Okay,
what do you know about this?
Ring of Rebirth, right? Apparently, this is a promotion that is being launched today. Literally today.
That's right. 10 hours.
By the Eurasian Dragon, right?
Yeah, 10 hours ago, he put out a post on social media, Ring of Rebirth. And new kids on the block, founded by Eurasian Dragon. That's all it says on the Instagram so far. I can't wait to hear more about this, what kind of plans he has. We might be talking to the guy on the show soon, huh?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so SPW was the one that started it all. They are celebrating technically 10 years in the business right here, right? So they are the OGs. And then a couple of years later, we had Grapple Max, a completely different style of wrestling, paying homage to a bit more of Japanese strong style and a bit of Asian, aesthetics in a way. But, they are doing their own thing. They are flourishing right now.
Yeah.
So, Is Singapore ready for a third brand? That's the question.
That's a very big question because as it is, it's like, all right, are there enough wrestlers to even warrant two, let alone one, right? But I get it, different philosophies and stuff like that. How different is Ring of Rebirth gonna be from SPW in terms of style? Like we know that Grapple Max, their style, like you mentioned, is more Japanese oriented. SPW is more of the quote unquote sports entertainment oriented, right? More WWE style. So what could ROR be?
I would argue that there's not enough wrestling schools in Singapore, Okay. Why can't there be multiple MMA schools, different philosophies, different brandings of MMA? Why can't there be multiple football clubs in Singapore, but why can't there be multiple wrestling clubs? I don't think it's a bad idea.
I take your point, but I also want to bring up another point. Yes, you're right. There are many football clubs in Singapore. Who goes to see them?
But that's not the point. The point is not for the audience. It's to create an avenue for the sportsman, right?
I guess, there's a big distinction between wrestling school and wrestling promotion, by the way. So I don't know if like RRR will be a school/promotion or are they just doing the promotion, you know what I mean? Like, does this water down the talent pool? Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah. If it's a wrestling school, I think it's great because basically you're giving another option and avenue for someone to pick up wrestling. But then if it has to fit into the wider ecosystem of Singapore wrestling, because I get your point where is there too little wrestlers, in Singapore to like go around, but it could be a way to create even more wrestlers. So it's essentially think of it as NXT 2.0 lah. It's not gonna be.
You think of it. You think of it as NXT 2.0. I look at it and I think AEW Women's Division.
Okay. Or maybe AEW Dark Elevator or something like that.
Don't even get me started on Dark Elevator, bro. Now the show where apparently that's where you go to watch the Hardys. Best book of 2022. Let's dive into it. Okay, anything else you want to add? Obviously, we are excited. Obviously, we wish the Eurasian Dragon all the best. It is interesting to see, like, he has all the connections with the, folk at Grapple Max at SPW. Are we going to see cross promotions, cross brand rivalries, super cards? I mean, hey, all that is on the table. So exciting, right?
Yeah. Think of it. I'm not going to think too far.
Yeah.
I take it like ROR is like Booker T's Reality of Wrestling School, or like Cody Rhodes' Nightmare Factory. I think it's a school for now. Clearly he has the connections.
Yeah.
Maybe someone like Eurasian Dragon is not content with like, I'm just gonna pump out shows for a local. Maybe he's training this batch of students so that they can do shows in India, in Manila, beyond in the Southeast Asian sphere. So I think more power to him in that sense.
So a more regional look. Well, then you also have Apex Wrestling. You talk about regional. They are doing the regional stuff. So, hey, especially now with restrictions relaxing a little bit, we could see more shows, and that is going to be an exciting time. Bro, I was about to say live wrestling is back, and then got thunderclap. No, what? Hey, very epic. Live wrestling is back.
It's like you are Vince McMahon, and they have the Thunderstruck by AC/DC. Thunderstruck.
No, it's like remember when he was the devil and he wanted to fight God or some shit. Vince McMahon versus God.
I mean, maybe ROR is gonna do that kind of matches. Who knows, right? Who knows?
Irvin says better not be CYN, bro. Maybe Eurasian Dragon wants to control his narrative, bro.
Maybe, possibly. Wow, that's a lot of layers to that. But sure, Mr. Young.
Yeah. Speaking of garbage wrestling, indie wrestling, right? Wow. I mean, okay, we're moving away from that now. Last Friday, I was actually playing WWE 2K22 on my Twitch stream at... what's my Twitch handle? I forgot all of a sudden. Oh my god.
Mr. Young lah. Mr. Young 98. Right?
Mr. Young 98. Oh my god, I had a brain fart for a second. I forgot my own.
The thunder struck your brain also.
That's why, yeah. So I was playing WWE 2K22, right? And somebody linked. First, there are two points I want to bring up. Somebody linked me to a match. It was. Have you ever seen this match? I think it's GCW. It's Invisible Man 1 versus Invisible Man 2 with Bryce Remsburg as the referee.
Doesn't ring a bell.
It's the dumbest shit. Chat, if you've seen this match, please drop us a link so that Foreign can go and check out this match later, okay? But yeah, literally, it's Invisible Man 1 versus Invisible Man 2. Bryce Remsburg, the AEW ref, he is wearing a pair of like weird sunglasses that supposedly lets him see the invisible wrestlers. So imagine this fucking match. He's there reacting. It's basically a one-man performance. He's reacting.
Basically, it's a performance show lah.
Yeah, and then he's counting the pin and then the kick out. So basically, his reaction is telling the story. Oh my god. Referee Ryan says that match is lit. I would like to light that match on fire. That's why I get why people like Jim Cornette and like the old school, and it's not even an old school thing. Like you try to show that to someone who doesn't watch wrestling, and they'd be like, "Why you watch this fake shit?"
Yeah. It's like you gotta have that portion of the internet, that little sphere in the internet where it's like stupid shit, you know what I mean?
To be fair, I feel like this type of stuff works when you are there live. It's funny, you laugh, it's a group think, you know what I mean? Like everybody's laughing, okay lah, you just join in and have fun a little bit, I get it. But if they ever do that shit on TV, that's it. You are just making a fool of the business.
Yeah, the problem is because of social media, even the stupid shit can be seen by millions of people, can go viral.
Like wrestling a blow-up doll, that kind of stuff.
Doing a moonsault over a fat person, Seth Rollins did.
That one, okay, I won't even say that is that bad. He just did a moonsault off a thick boy, right? Like he's using somebody else as it's not completely like ridiculous, like some of the Japanese stuff we've seen as well, like, like this guy who's all lubed up or Nakazawa. No, there was another one I saw. What was it? It's like a weird clown, looked like Ronald McDonald, but he he was trying to like molest the guy or something. I forget, like there's some weird shit that the internet has shown us. And then the caption is always, when they say wrestling is fake.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this is the kind of thing that there will be a portion of the fans that will always enjoy this.
Yeah.
You have to feed the monster in that sense, lah. I get, bro. It will not be well received if there wasn't a demand for it. So
Sure.
the demand might be very, very small.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, Bryce Rimsberg is a AEW referee right now, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and I remember Jim Cornette seems to hate that guy. Like, he says the worst referee ever. So I do not know whether he saw this match, or whether his reputation precedes him.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he gets involved in such matches. I hope for AEW's sake they do not bring this to TV, like you said.
Okay, that was one point. The other point was, the clip that was shared on my Discord. Our lovely mod Doc, she posted it of me playing the Royal Rumble, and I was supposed to earn a PlayStation got trophies, right?
Yeah.
One of the trophies is you must start the Rumble at 1 or 2 and win. Wow. And I freaking got tossed out by Montez Ford right at the end. And that was very heartbreaking. That's the context of that. That's why I reacted like that. Because, I played through the whole freaking Rumble and got tossed out right at the end at number 30.
How long was, to play the entire match from number 1? Do you time yourself?
I don't know, yeah. I wasn't even paying attention. Maybe 30 minutes. So that's a lot of time wasted. You're not getting back. But sorry. Is
it hard though to play the Royal Rumble mechanics?
Yeah.
I haven't tried the game itself.
Oh, you haven't? It's okay, but once you know the quote unquote the cheat or like there's this one move you can do that will guarantee you a high success, which is what I do . But it depends on the difficulty you play the game as well. If you play on hard mode, well, they're gonna reverse you all the time.
Okay. So that will get super annoying lah.
Yeah. Like if you play on easy mode, they rarely ever reverse. You can clear it within 20 minutes if you don't fuck it up.
Okay. Wow, man, now you make me want to try Royal Rumble. I know it's not Royal Rumble season, but why not, right?
Okay, so one more point I have to make about playing the WWE, and this will tie into AEW, okay? I realized through playing WWE 2K22, a lot of the action, the fast back and forth, you can spam finishers, people will still kick out. I'm like, wait a minute, I feel like I'm watching AEW, and I feel like that is their philosophy.
Really?
Yeah, and to me, it gets annoying after a while because it's like, okay, I just hit my finisher on some low-level guy, like a jobber. Why does it not finish them? And after a while, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to sort of see a correlation, a link between if this were to happen in real life. Like, for example, Dolph Ziggler, you never expect him to win anymore because all his finishes are completely useless one. So it takes away the sort of joy of him, like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I know this is not going to lead to anything. He's probably still going to lose, and then he does.
Yeah. So you're saying that a lot of AEW wrestlers, they are building their matches, taking reference from video games?
Adam Cole is a prime example. Like, don't get me wrong, like I play video games, but I don't wrestle. You know what I mean or not? It's like, it might be fun for me as a game in the moment, but to use that as a sort of a storytelling device, I don't think works. And that's why so far every like Adam Page, Adam Cole match thus far has been it's just been spam. It looks like a video game. And after a while it gets boring.
You know what would work, or what would they should introduce in video games going forward? They should you have the ability to wrestle different types of matches. For example, right?
A simulation mode.
No. What I mean is like you as a wrestler, you have a different strategy. So for example, I'm a technical wrestler. My point of this whole match, I want to target a body part. So to get, like they have their star ratings at the end of a match, right? Yeah. To get the 5-star rating, you must tell a coherent story.
Oh my god, that is next level. And they will never do that because they have to make it easy for people who aren't like, hardcore fans like us, right? At the end of the day, all these products are marketed towards the masses. And you would think that AEW being the home of pro wrestlers, that is what they would be promoting. But the funny thing is, it's the complete opposite. I realized too, as we are talking about this, they are sort of they are not the home of pro. They are just the home of indie wrestlers with a big TV deal. That's all.
Yeah, kind of. But again, I see their philosophy changing. I mean, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson instead. They are not gonna stand by and let that happen, bro.
CM Punk and Bryan Danielson are just two of out of the entire thing, right? Out of the entire cast of their clown car over there. And
No, because I'm thinking about like how when The Rock and Stone Cold was leading the charge in the Attitude Era, there was still a lot of garbage around there. They couldn't control everything, right?
Yeah. So the hope and the prayer is that there's two good things. Everything else, you just close one eye. You watch it just for the good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you're an NXT Gold and
Black and
Yellow
Gold.
and Gold. Yeah, Black and Gold lover, right? So is that for you the purest sense of like a modern wrestling show that you enjoy?
I wouldn't say even yes and no, because just looking back, I think we look at it with rose-tinted glasses as well. It's like the nostalgia, right? But I realized Adam Cole did a lot of this like multiple finisher kickouts, especially during Stand and Delivers, and sometimes it works. Sometimes it gets too video game spammy. It's like okay, yeah.
They're talking about their takeover matches. He does a lot of crazy shit, right?
Yeah. But like I said, like I always remember for like Ilya Dragunov versus Volta. It wasn't so much about the spammy stuff. It was just hard hitting. It looked like a fight. I think at the end of the day, it needs to look like a fight.
Yeah, and I think people should struggle towards getting their finisher done. Like if I don't mind like try to do a finisher, but he can't even execute it because he reverse or he gets away from it. I think that one makes more sense.
Ooh, yeah.
We are recording this podcast live from a thunderstorm today,
bro, the wrestling gods are offended that we are giving so much time to AEW today.
Oh dear God. Okay, we need to get this out of the way because we want to talk about some Randy Orton. Let's talk about my kind of shit. So
let's talk about let's say hi to Diff Royalty first. Let's say hi to Muhammad Daniel as well. Welcome to the chat. How are we doing? I hope everybody's staying nice and safe and dry on this
don't worry.
Monday.
Yeah, you guys are still early. We haven't gone into the meat and potatoes of today's podcast.
Which is Randy Orton, is it?
Yes, we gotta get through some AEW big announcement news that we have to talk about first.
Okay. So, we have WWE stuff to talk about as well, but I don't know if there's too much. Okay, let me just look at the quick summary of what happened on Raw. Okay, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes. Is
Cody Rhodes starting to wear off on you, bro?
Yes. Bro, you read my mind, bro. That was my sigh probably said everything already. It's like, okay, it's starting to get a bit like, can we just have 1 week he have long promo, then the next week he relax a bit and wrestle? Like, can we not have long, like he opened the show, cut. I mean, he didn't cut. Did he? Was he the first or was it Seth who came up first? I forget.
No, it was Seth that came out first.
Yeah, but then, Cody still came in and cut a long-ass promo on him, right? I feel like there's too much Cody talking at this point in time.
You know what it is, right? You know what it is. WWE got their new shiny toy.
Yeah.
They're pushing it to the moon. Clearly, they're treating him as a top star. That's what he wanted, right? So he needs to be in all the segments. But my gripe with this is, if the crowd turns on Cody, I don't think it's Cody's fault this time around. This is WWE's booking.
How fast the shine sort of wears off. Okay, I will say this though. Do you think it's because we watch both products and on WWE's side they are catering to the mass, right? They're like, okay, maybe people haven't seen Cody in AEW and we need to present him to get his story across. Whatever the case, yeah, because they have to work on it like that. Like they can't assume that every one of their audience also watches AEW, right?
My biggest fear is he ends up becoming just another guy on the roster.
Yeah.
So I rather so this is like taking the best of the worst. So so if he's being treated like a top star but he's appearing on every segment, I can live with that because he's being treated like a top star.
Right.
But if he becomes like a Finn Balor where he barely appears on TV and then suddenly loses, then I will have an issue with that. So
right.
Okay.
The thing with Cody Rhodes promos is they are long, they are emotional. Sometimes he acts, and the acting can be a bit much. So I feel like it should be once in a while, and it shouldn't happen too much.
I get it. Like his promos should be, if he wants to make his promos mean more, and they do mean a lot. Like in the context of what he's trying to tell, they shouldn't do it every single week.
Yeah.
I don't remember Dusty Rhodes cutting like promos every single. I do not know, man. But that's the problem. Like if you cut this kind of like, then you become a reign of terror, like Triple H, 20 minute segments to open Raw every single time back in the day.
It will be super eye-rolling. Irvin says apparently Brock told the locker room they shouldn't go on air to tell people they want to have the best match on the card because every wrestler should be trying to win, not have the best match.
Where did Brock say this?
Yeah. You know what? To a certain extent, I agree. But also at the same time, it depends on the story they're trying to tell. Sometimes the story can be, I want to outshine this guy because I don't like his face. Or something like that. So in that case, yes. But yeah, to a certain extent, yeah, I also agree that, in the context of, like, this is a competition, you're trying to win so that you build yourself towards getting a title shot, right? So you should just win.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how beautiful your match was. It gets straight to the point, right?
Yeah.
That being said, we got a great, I would say, first time match. Was it a first time match? Because I don't think Cody Rhodes have ever faced Kevin Owens in the ring in WWE, right? They just missed each other, right?
Yeah, but it was a non-finish. As in, it was a count out lah. So maybe they are still saving this for like a later date, maybe next week. You know how WWE likes to repeat their matches.
Yeah, it protects both of their auras currently. But for me, Cody, I haven't soured on Cody yet because I feel like if I were to sour on him so fast, then I think it's an indictment on me as well. You know what I mean? Like as a fan, like why is my attention span so bad? I want to see how this story plays out. He hasn't even had his rematch with Seth, and I know there's gonna be another banger of a match. We speak quietly, bro, but I think the WrestleMania Backlash card is actually pretty dope. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. So, I want to see all the matches that's there.
What including Naomi versus not Naomi, sorry, Bianca versus Sonya Deville.
Sonya Deville. Yeah, I do because the story of it is like Sonya Deville has been doing great work as a heel. People want to get her ass kicked, but the thing is, it's supposed to be Naomi versus Sonya Deville. I don't know why that story died.
bro, why Why her first feud back was Naomi, second feud back is against Bianca.
Well,
is there an underlying angle here?
You know what? If Sonya Deville actually upsets people and wins the title, right, I'm not against it, bro.
Right.
She'll make a great heel champion.
She would. What was that rumor about her being the new like Stephanie McMahon type?
She
authority figure.
She does pull off the vibe, huh?
She does. So maybe that is what they're going for. Talking about Naomi and Sasha. So this is the confirmed Rhea Ripley heel turn lah. So they retain their titles, Liv and Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley finally turns on Liv. Are you excited to see Rhea versus Liv?
I'm excited to see Rhea as a heel. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, but wasn't she heel in NXT as well? Just as a destroyer lah. Just come in and destroy people.
Well, she's like a badass. I can't remember her as a heel. Was she a heel?
I feel like there was a heel run somewhere. I have to go back and confirm.
But someone that looks like her who can dominate in the ring, I think screams dominant heel though.
Yeah, she does. She cannot be a cheating, conniving heel. She just has to be a destroyer lah.
Yeah. So my question is right. So Rhea had a tag team with Nikki Cross. Kena betrayed. Nikki Cross turned heel.
Yeah.
And Rhea still want to have another tag team with Liv Morgan. Then now she betray her. Yeah. So I think Rhea learned her lesson. Don't be a tag team wrestler anymore. Just stay single lah.
Actually, okay, if they are smart enough to join the dots and put some continuity to it and maybe tell a story about how, hey, I've had two teams before and they just didn't work out because, I'm just tell some kind of story where I've tried the tag team thing. I just keep getting let down by my previous partners, which, is kind of true if you think about it, right? Like Nikki Cross, Nikki ASH stabbed her in the back. And you know what's the funny thing? Now Nikki is in the 24/7 division as a face. I don't know if you realize this, she's a bit of a joke character. So technically they can do Nikki versus Rhea with the roles reversed.
Oh my god. Well, the less you talk about, WWE's booking in this sense, the better. But again, if Rhea's gonna leave this tag team and become a solo person, how does the story wind up in her eventually joining Edge and his faction? So that is free.
The fact that Damian Priest joined Edge out of the blue just by him saying, I like what you said. Can already. There's not a lot to,
Didn't you see on Instagram they actually try to tie the whole story of how they got together?
Who did?
Edge and Damian Priest.
No, who put out this story?
On
narrative?
WWE.
Oh, okay.
So apparently WWE try to stitch they have history, you know, bro. So when Damian Priest first came on Raw, I think there was one of the matches Edge just finished and he was walking backstage. Then he said, "Oh, I like your style."
That was meant to be a rub, but then I guess they are like, "Oh, okay, you know what? Let's use this as a this is what you call convenient backstory."
Yeah. Okay, I don't mind because I think WWE sometimes they accidentally stumble upon this kind of backstories, but more power to them.
Yeah, I mean, they are not milking it for all it's worth. It's just a thing on the internet. Yeah, sure, fine. So, I'm sure they can spin some story about how, Rhea then joins the House of Edge. And
House of Edge.
Look, aren't they the exact same thing, except they are not talking in like tongues? Like, the only difference is Aleister Black, he's more poetic, he says cheaper words. Edge is a little bit more, okay, my audience, I'm gonna just talk to my audience with some big words to be on top of them, right? So that's the whole thing. Like, heels use big words because they want to be intellectually above us.
Every time he says he's omnipotent, I keep thinking,
what?
He can't procreate, bro.
Impotence.
That was same, right? Almost same.
Yeah, so that's what the classic intelligent heel is trying to do. Is trying to talk down to you, right? But the thing is, Edge talks down to people. Aleister Black talk and you don't know what the fuck he's talking about, huh? The whole thing is one big question mark. I don't understand.
Let's just agree that him, Edge and his faction, Malachi Black and his faction, even Bray Wyatt and his faction, all of them are influenced by Undertaker.
Oh yeah.
It's clearly the Brood and bringing influences from the Ministry, blah blah blah. So, hey, you know what? It was an awesome faction.
Sure.
I love every time. Okay, this is just me. WWE, every time they have a dark character, supernatural character on screen, I like it.
Well, as long as they don't screw it up. I mean, they had a great thing going with the Fiend and then gone. But I mean, okay, like Edge is a lifer also, like I feel. So,
early days. I mean, I think I like the fact that Edge at this point in his career, he's still trying new stuff.
Yeah, but let's not forget the week before on Raw, the lights disappeared. You remember the Damian Priest AJ Styles match? Lights go out, the match ended, and that's it.
That's it.
Like, what the fuck? Did we forget the finish? Like, what's going on? Like,
I think Damian Priest needs to leave already. Got Prata session at night. Okay, guys, bye.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
5 minutes.
Ooh, Irvin actually brings up a very good point. Black is more Ultimate Warrior than Taker in terms of promo. Dude, that is a very good comparison. Yeah.
Rambling promos.
Rambling, not like you don't understand what the hell he's talking about. Versus Edge, you understand, but you feel stupid because he uses big words. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, okay, Edge trying to be a bit like Nick Bockwinkel.
Sure.
This intellectual, smart heel. While Malachi Black is like, fire the jet fuels.
Simi Lan, what are you talking about, bro? Like, what the fuck? Okay, let's move on then. Veer defeated some jobber.
Was it Veer defeating a jobber or was it Veer defeating Dominic?
No, it was Dominic was last week, bro.
Oh, shit, I really lost track. Okay, bye, Veer. I think he disappeared also better lah.
So send Veer until he probably needs a couple of weeks of jobbers to crush, which is and they're doing the exact same thing on SmackDown with Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser. So it's like this. You can see the exact copy paste template, right?
Yeah, I like Veer though. I mean, I like his size. I see him potentially. Hey, bro. Confirm he's a much more athletic, better Indian wrestler than Great Khali.
Oh yes, so that's 100%.
So that's already an improvement already.
Well, okay. Let's talk about facials. Not that kind of facial. Facials on the wrestlers when like Veer looks intense, right?
Yes,
you buy his fury, you buy his anger, you buy his rage. Gunther is a different type of like range, but I think Gunther is even better in that he just looks like disgusted at everything. And when he destroys people, great facials. Omos, that is the major problem with Omos. His face, he doesn't carry emotion in his face.
Omar looks like he's smiling through his anger, like he.
I mean, yeah, like he's smiling while he's like, and it's not even in a psychotic, like, you know, like a Joker way. Yeah, like Joker, he's like, what? He's smiling, but he's killing people, and that's creepy, right? No, Omar's is just like,
He a bit the retarded brother kind of vibe. You know, like when the brother, like, you know, in Surya drama, there is one guy called Mat Lay lah. Like it's like a typical, you know, a bit handicapped guy. Like,
what the hell? Okay, no. We are trending into a weird spot here.
No, I'm trying to say is like, you know he's frustrated, but he can't show it in a way that is menacing. What you feel is pity, bro. You're like, oh, I understand. He's going through a lot of pain. Okay. We be there for him. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get to, bro.
Okay. Before we get cancelled, let's move on.
No, cannot.
Ezekiel, bro. Ezekiel.
Yes, Ezekiel.
Okay, Ezekiel beat Chad Gable, but before that, they did a very sports entertainment segment with the lie detector test. Did you enjoy it? Did you like to speak with Zeke?
Bro, kind of like becoming my guilty pleasure on Raw, bro. This Ezekiel.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it says much about the writing or him as a performer.
Yeah.
Because he seems to make anything work.
you know what it is too? I feel like all three of them made it work. You gotta give props to Chad Gable. Thank you, and all that shit, right? Like, he is really channeling Kurt Angle nerd vibes. Like, this is this goofy guy but can wrestle. And then you got Kevin Owens, who is just indignant. What the hell? This guy is obviously Elias, and everyone. So I feel like it ticks a lot of boxes in that. Yeah, we know we are in on the joke, but only Kevin Owens is the one who doesn't get it, and we are laughing at him, sort of a vibe.
Yeah. I'm loving all these WWE regens that we're getting. Like a regen Kurt Angle, regen Stone Cold. One thing I used to remember what I love about like Stone Cold, The Rock, Kurt Angle, they literally can make anything that is stupid into entertaining segments, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's the whole point of being a WWE superstar. Like, they're gonna throw shit at you not because it's shit. It's because, okay, how do you make this shit entertaining?
Yeah.
Right?
No,
so,
I agree. Yeah.
So they did, and what I like about this whole segment is that it's like it's almost they're not making the audience feel stupid. It could have come across like that. They're making the audience feel stupid, but they're actually laughing along with the audience. Like, they're getting the audience to feel like, this is him like totally joking. We are in on the joke.
Yeah, it's a bit of a meta segment. I feel like if you're a really old school fan, you might think this is just some whole shit. Yeah. But I think, okay lah, like, to me, in terms of nonsense, I'm okay with this. It doesn't offend me. I'm like, okay, I get the joke. I'm in on it. Ha 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 ha, whatever. And the people playing their roles are likable enough that I can go along with it. It's fine.
Yeah. Can you imagine one of the AEW stars trying to pull off this segment?
Oh,
I don't think they can pull it off.
It depends on who. If it's the best friends, then okay, probably not. It's gonna be like if it's a Brandon Cutler, or the whole elite. What are they called now? The undisputed elite.
Elite,
Stop. Okay. Anyway, we'll get to AEW in a bit. Street Profits apparently are kind of heels. The heel. I mean, it's quite. Like, they went full heel, right? They played the Usos theme song to distract to get the win.
Yeah. You know what? I think they should, because clearly, if they're gonna become a face, they will be number 2 behind RK Bro.
Okay, interesting question then. Especially for someone like Montez Ford, a lot of his offense are highlight reel moves that pop the crowd. So what, is he gonna wrestle more mat base?
No, I don't think he has to change his style. Like, I think he can pop the crowd but still be super arrogant. Like maybe when Sammy Guevara was a heel with the Inner Circle, he was doing the exact same thing. He was doing show-stopping highlight reel stuff, but we were booing him because he's like an arrogant prick. So I think what he should change is Montez Ford's ability to antagonize the audience. He hasn't shown that ability yet.
Right. Well, who was it recently who said, like, and it was repeated quite a bit, like, if you are good as a heel, right, the face doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, like,
but I don't know who said that though, but I agree.
Yeah, so like I don't know, like, him as a I will wait and see. If anybody's talented enough, like, it might just be the Street Profits. Okay. the burial of Finn Balor continues. How long till we see Finn Balor or Prince Devitt is all elite? Because Theory, no Austin, just Theory is now your US champ.
Yeah. Oh man. It's bittersweet. Because I think Theory is due to become a champion. Like I think given the push that he's had, it's a great start. US title run. You saw he posted on Instagram that he's a better US champion than John Cena.
Oh,
yeah. So he did like a photo shoot, and I think there was this one Instagram video where he posted. Damn funny. It was like a WWE live event.
Yep.
And he had the US title, and he walked up to a little kid dressed in a John Cena outfit, right? And then he said, "I'm a better champion than you'll ever be." Then he walked away.
Oh, that's cute. Such a heel.
Yeah. So I like that. I like that. But at the expense of Finn Balor, come on.
And okay, it's not even like Finn Balor put him over. Their feud wasn't one where both got elevated. It was straight up Theory just taking all of Finn's steam. That's it.
Can you imagine Finn Balor, the NXT version of Finn Balor, fighting Austin Theory?
Oh my God.
It would have been dope. It would have been like, you have to earn this victory from me. Like how he tried to put over Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah.
So much more like potential there. You know?
It would have made Theory's win mean more, right? But no, they just, I guess they're like, all right, now it's time to hotshot the title to him, so let's go. Okay, the commitment ceremony. I feel like at some point the crowd was booing this shit. Okay, so you talked about, we talked about like there were two very sports entertainment-y segments, right? There was the lie detector, and then there was this. And I mean, I love R-Truth. Actually, everyone in this sort of segment sort of really committed to the character. I have to give it to them.
Yeah, it's likable.
It wasn't so quick, but it went too long. It went way too long. Like, I was like, they were teasing some lesbian thing or something. I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, I'm like, okay, like why did they all of a sudden want to switch partners and all this? Like that didn't make any sense to me at all.
Yeah, no, it's tough lah. It's hit or miss, right? Like if this segment was done by, I don't know, like a heel like Becky Lynch, I think it could have worked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just depends on the ability of and how invested the audience is to the characters. Because right now, clearly this is a 24/7 title segment, right? It's the biggest shine a 24/7 title segment has been given. Because all this while they always do shit backstage. It's like less than 5-minute matches. So the fact that they got an entire segment, good for them, right?
Yeah.
Maybe this is their payoff for like months of just chasing shit lah.
Yeah. Okay, that aside, like, you know, are they done with this whole thing? Like, you know, the 24/7 title had moments, but now I mean everyone knows it's a joke. So
But again, you need a jobber title somehow.
Yeah,
you know?
sure. You need a toilet break. You need a nonsense segment before like the serious stuff. Which, and you know, Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes, the main event, that was like the serious stuff, right?
Yeah. So I don't, in a world where a 24/7 title exists, I'm not against it. But you can make it much more entertaining. Like even the first year, remember when R-Truth was winning a lot? Like I thought it was quite entertaining.
Yeah. Well, it boils down to the champion making the title, and at that point, you know, R-Truth, he was very funny also in this. It just went on too long.
Yeah, it was afterwards like, yeah, guys, you get a joke, get married already, like get it over and done with.
Like get the payoff, right? And at the end, there was kind of no payoff. I mean, it was cute that Naomi and Sasha Banks, because and together with Tamina, they used to be a group, right? They used to be a faction.
Yeah. They had history there, so like it makes sense. Yeah. I wish there was like what would have made it more entertaining? They had a legend cameo. No, like go all the way with it. It's gonna be dumb and stupid.
Yeah.
Like maybe like bring, I don't know, like if Mick Foley was there for some reason.
Yeah, bro, bring Eric Bischoff. Remember the last time Eric Bischoff did a wedding ceremony?
Oh yeah, then like, you know, Kane appeared.
No, and then they could do 3-minute warning jokes as well.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like something that, because WWE's fans are like comic book fans or like Marvel fans, we know Easter eggs.
Yeah, we get it. Yeah,
we get it. So like, oh man, they could have done so much with it, but like again, that's where they went with, and it's just okay, whatever, next.
Irvin says, don't know if they'll scrap the 24/7 title though. Isn't it something requested by the USA Network? I have no problem with the title itself. It's just the shit, the storyline around it. It's towing that line of versus okay, I'm sports entertained. But that aside, Raw. I mean, Raw again, middle of the road. We're leading into Backlash, like you said. A lot of very interesting matches coming up. Instead of talking about Dynamite first, let's talk about SmackDown very quickly. So we clear all the WWE stuff, okay?
Yep.
Ronda Rousey. Fuck. Another week. Oh my god. So they did the contract signing deal, and I don't know what is the whole angle with Drew Gulak now, making him out to look like a complete goof. Maybe he does. He's like, please give me a spot. I don't care if I have to tap out to Charlotte and then the next week to Ronda. But like watching this match, I'm like, I could not dislike Ronda more. Like,
it's tough lah, because man, like she should be the number one baby face in the women's division right now. But when you see someone like Bianca Belair, and then you see someone like Ronda Rousey, like no.
Okay, yeah. So she's supposed to be the face, right? Why are you picking on Gulak then?
I mean, Gulak comes across as a sympathetic figure in this whole segment.
Like when she armbarred her, I felt bad for him. I was like, hey, don't be why are you so bad? You know, he's just trying to do his best. Like I legit felt like sympathy heat for Gulak. So I don't know. And you know the way she promos too, she's all like there's no energy, there's no emotion. And then like Charlotte, and she's promoting against Charlotte, who is amazing at promos, right? So it's like, I can't deal with it.
Can you imagine, like she reminds me of China a bit. Okay, when China first started cutting promos, she was terrible.
Yeah.
She never got better lah. But what I'm saying is that she got to a certain point where she became likable because she was around people that made her work.
Yep.
Like China being paired with Eddie Guerrero, that whole thing worked because Eddie Guerrero was Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, exactly. China and Y2J, China and DX, she was always surrounded by people that would lift her up, so she didn't have to do too much herself. I think that's a very good comparison.
Yeah, but then when China was left alone in 2001 when she was doing the singles run as her champion, she was so fucking boring, and no one wanted to see her at that point in time.
True.
So the point is, like, she can be made into a star, but she needs people around her to make it work. I would dare say Charlotte Flair can make it work with her as well.
No, you're right. Actually, you know who is better? Becky Lynch. I think Becky Lynch could make it work.
I think Becky Lynch brings out this competitive spirit in Ronda that I don't think Charlotte can. I don't know.
Irvin suggests that they make Ronda like 97 Bret Hart if she knew how to pull it off. Ooh, that's a very tough ask, and I get where you're going.
Make her like, I know I'm good. Fuck all of you fans, kind of thing.
And see, 97 Bret Hart also had his entire Hart Foundation, so he had a group to back him up. So maybe that could work.
Hello, we got one time Shayna Baszler, Natalia there. Are they best friends? And even Natalia, I thought is close with Ronda. Yeah,
so all of them are heel. Join them. Natalia's promos aren't the greatest either, but at least she has more energy and fire than Ronda. Ronda literally could be the Roman Reigns of... Actually, fuck it lah. Okay, I guess Paul Heyman is busy. Who else? Give me another manager, a heel manager.
Fuck it lah, MVP would hype her up like crazy.
Yeah.
You know what? Even putting her with Sonya Deville, if she still want to be a manager, would have been. I think maybe Sonya wouldn't like it. Actually, if you think about it, I think there are some internal. If you watch Total Divas lah,
which I am a fan of, and yes, I did watch. So there was the whole storyline there as well, right? Yeah. Div says, does anyone else get the feeling that Ronda doesn't really want to be in the WWE? Very half-hearted. Yeah, I agree. Like her promos, everything just feels like she's there to fulfill some sort of obligation. Jason says apparently Ronda has it in her clause, in her contract, that doesn't allow her to tap out or quit. So we know who's winning at Backlash. I mean, I don't read the dirt sheets that often.
But the problem with Ronda is she already lost her aura in UFC. So why is she so big about this?
No, I get it though. She's still a name value. She's still a name. It's like Goldberg, right? And kudos to her that she knows. And here's the thing. I don't even need to read the dirt sheets to know that she's not going to tap out. It would be the dumbest thing in the universe.
Yeah.
She cannot quit or tap out.
I would rather she tap out to build a new star. If she were ever to tap out, is to build a new star, not give the win to Charlotte.
Yeah, like Charlotte is already a main woman at this point.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point, right? And it would have to be a much better storyline, much longer build for that to happen, lah. So.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like Ronda putting over like Nikita Lyons or some shit.
Oh shit!
Like
Nikita,
then maybe,
Then
maybe.
Speaking of it, like somebody brought up, no NXT 2.0. To be honest, I kind of glossed over NXT 2.0. There's a lot of new and a lot of green, a lot more than before.
Yeah, put it this way, lah, bro. Like the only time I watch NXT 2.0 is when I see WWE YouTube top 10 NXT 2.0 moments of the week.
Oh god. Okay. Oh my god. Talking about sports entertainment-y segments that just don't really work. So you got Dexter Lumis now paired up with Duke Hudson with their respective like that is the most cringe-worthy. Like you can tell that their product is geared towards younger audiences, and I don't know if it's because I'm older and I'm finding this annoying, or is it a case of they think they are catering to kids but it's a bunch of adults trying to write for kids. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's like you're trying to write a soap opera drama for like Gen Zs, and the Gen Zs are not even there to like, QC them, check whether this thing matters to them,
Irvin says Persia Parada cannot make it, cannot act. I would suggest all of them cannot act. Okay, no, like all what's his face? Dexter Lumis has to do is be quiet, right? And then that's his whole thing. And a way to kill his entire aura, by the way. Anyway, Indy Hartwell has been sort of hit or miss for me. Persia, you're right though, 100% cannot act. And then Duke Hudson just looks blurred. Like,
How the fuck Duke Hudson won the rivalry against Dante Chen? Come on.
I mean, look, that wasn't even a rivalry. It was a 1 week, and then they decided to move on, right? But
yeah.
Okay, you know what Duke Hudson reminds me of? Duke Hudson reminds me of the guy that got dragged to some event because of the girlfriend, and he has no idea, like, what the fuck, I'm just here because of her. So maybe in that way, he's playing it all right.
Oh, dear gosh.
But it's so cringe. I cannot. I just like, I cannot deal. I mean, okay, to be fair, there are bright spots, right? There's Solo Sikoa. I really enjoyed Wesley, the other MSK who didn't get fired.
Yeah.
He had a match.
What's he doing now?
He got fired up. Who fired him? I forget. But he had a match. He lost, I believe. But the promo that they did before, like you could tell, like the I don't know what it was. Maybe because they stripped him of the title. They never mentioned why they vacated the titles. But he just had like a backstage promo, and I love this energy. I'm like, shit. All right, let him do this. Let him be a solo guy.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? With every adversity comes opportunity. I feel like he can take advantage of this.
I think
Maybe go on an awesome solo run, right?
Oh my God, Irvin, yes. Thank you for reminding me. Grayson Waller sacked his bodyguard.
Oh, wow, finally.
But finally, what do you mean finally? This has been like how long only?
It never should have happened, bro.
But so, like, I was like, really? You just get paired up with this fella, Indian Braun Strowman? So now is he going to fight the bodyguard whose name I've forgotten already?
Oh man, not Satnam Singh, different.
No, got Satnam Singh, got Shanky, got Veer. What's this fella's name? I forget.
Man, I don't watch NXT 2.0, bro.
Whatever it is, he wasn't outstanding enough while he was
the other in the Shield, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, he wasn't outstanding enough for me to even have him. See, here's the thing, right? Like, you got MJF and Wardlow, and there was a long story before that. Then the turn happened, people cheer. And this is a story that's been done to death as well. The big bodyguard, and the cocky prick. And then, finally the big bodyguard has enough of his abuse. This one literally just happened within like a few weeks of them debuting together. It's like, wait, you guys are done with this? What?
I think management just got cold feet lah. They realized the partnership wasn't working. And okay, I need lah.
Or Or Grayson Waller going to main roster confirm.
Oh man, bro, I can name you 5 people from NXT that should go to the main roster before him.
Sure.
And 2 of them probably is still resting at home.
Who?
Well, Ciampa for one. I mean, he's officially in the main roster, technically he is.
Natalia is in a feud with Cora Jade. So Natalia is now showing. So now she's playing the Dolph Ziggler role. She's showing up, beating up a bunch of newer talent, training them, obviously getting them ready, which I have no problem with.
That's one thing I like about this new direction of NXT though. Like every month there seems to be like a main roster dropping by, giving some cameo appearances. I like that though.
Yeah. Why is it always Natalia though?
I mean, Natalia is the only veteran, I guess, that they have, that can just teach the girls. Like that's her spot, bro. Her spot is to be the girl that shines up the newer people.
I guess. Okay, so that's pretty much. Oh, and of course the main event, Braun Breaker, and so you know the story here, right? Joe Gacy kidnapping Rick Steiner, stealing his Hall of Fame ring. They're trying to make it. Braun is trying to make it work.
Did Braun have a dramatic fall of 2 meters?
Yes, the finish.
Oh dear God.
The thing is, I think every WWE fan has seen this. Vince McMahon took that bump before, and he was fine. We all saw that clip of him showing. Was it Rob Gronk?
Gronkowski,
Yeah, showing him that. Oh, see, it's fine. And then now Braun Breaker, this freaking your NXT champion, jacked to the gills. But I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't hurt. Obviously, it does. But it's like, whoa.
He died, right? Did they do the whole ambulance thing or just check on him?
I think they went off air after he fell off the 2 meter height or whatever it was. But I was like, really? Oh my God.
That's it, right?
Don't get me wrong. I like that this is a serious angle and not comedy. But it is serious on the verge of nonsense. Does that make sense?
Intentionally comedic, I think.
Not even that, because it's with the Elias Ezekiel nonsense. That's comedy, so you're more okay, I'm willing to accept, right? Whereas this, it's serious, but it's so hokey and Joe Gacy to me is sort of really you're one step above and you are going to be ridiculous.
Joe Gacy clearly is a discount version of Bray Wyatt. That's what they're trying to get, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I heard the interview that Triple H did, with The Athletic, trying to explain why he's apparently cool with this NXT 2.0 happening. That he says that it was gonna happen anyway. It's just that I just was away for it. So of course he had to toe the company line. But what his reasoning is, he's trying to say is that he admitted that he went down a tangent where he was trying to sign up more indie talents, and he was losing sight of the kind of superstars that WWE needs. So he was just recalibrating and we're going back to the basics. We have to sign the stars that we want to get.
All this sounds like sorry dad.
Yeah, okay, my own for a while. Okay, fine. Then you know what it is? I know what it is, bro.
What is it?
Probably right. Vince McMahon never paid attention to NXT the entire time he was there. The entire time when Triple H was running, he just let him do his thing.
Triple H happily he got blank check.
Yeah, but then when Triple H was out of the picture, he finally went into the roster. He sat down, he looked at, what the fuck? Adam Cole is your top champion. This skinny fuck.
Yeah.
Make him a manager. I don't care.
Yeah. You know what? That sounds like legit what happened, right?
Yeah, probably. It's who the fuck are all these no-name indie guys with all their real names and no personality? Fire all of them. Never mind.
Yeah. And when they get called up to the main roster too, and you got your Keith Lees and your Karrion Kross and all that, and apparently they couldn't work the main event style. They are not ready. Something's wrong. Let's change the whole damn situation. So in a way, I actually kind of get it as well. You know.
So the problem is they're letting them be green on television,
which is an issue lah.
It is a big problem because as a fans, your first impression you'll never forget, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna give us maybe some people like John Cena, Randy Orton, we've seen them grown in our eyes. Somehow they managed to elevate to the level that it needs to be. But can you imagine I don't know. Like,
hold on, Cena and Orton, they had an OVW, which we didn't get to watch. So they already worked out all their greenness in OVW. They had TV, but it was a regional TV only. So okay, like this would work if NXT was only on WWE Network like back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Now that they actually have a TV deal, that is the main issue. And I still watch NXT 2.0, but I don't pay as much attention because to me it feels like, oh, this is a developmental. It's so clear.
It's clearly that they are trying to take 2 steps back. They're going to lose their audience. They're just going to keep a core audience that just keeps up with what they do.
Sure.
Before they can take 2 steps forward. But my problem is the 2 steps back. How far back can you get?
Bro, 80s WWF superstars, bright lights, funky psychedelic colors, and ridiculous occupations and relationships.
Okay, but the only plus side I can think of, if Braun Breaker is presented the way he's presented in NXT, I don't think he will change that much when he goes to the main roster. Unless he needs to change his name.
Oh, right. Steiner, right?
Yeah. But other than that, I think, because at least now Vince McMahon is aware what he's doing in NXT. So the I guess the transition will be smoother.
Wait, he's aware what he's doing in NXT and thus putting him into a ridiculous angle with some Joe Gacy, some serial killer-ish guy kidnapping Rick Steiner and stealing his ring.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Vince McMahon is aware and probably greenlight that whole segment.
Maybe he wrote it. Okay, then very quickly, let's talk about SmackDown. Okay, Butch disappeared again, so that's a whole thing. So they are trying to meme with Butch. I saw their Instagram account this morning. I thought it was kind of funny. Like, they superimposed a picture of Butch at Coachella.
Oh, is it?
Like where's because his whole gimmick is he always just fucks off somewhere else, right?
Yeah. Now he got a nickname. What? It's not the Rabbit Wolverine. It's like the Rabbit
Wildebeest. Like, no, that's not. No, I think it's not a nickname. I think it's just Pat McAfee just saying that and hoping he would. Yeah, because he couldn't say Rabbit Wolverine, right? Obviously it's early days for Butch, so we'll see where this goes. I feel like there is potential, but I also feel like it could just fall flat.
He's on the roster. That's all that matters. But us knowing Pete Dunne, having seen him live, knowing his abilities in the ring, man, I'm just waiting for him to be able to just like let it rip. I think it might take a couple of years because I remember when Riddle first came on the main roster, I thought he was doomed also.
Yep.
I thought he was doomed. Like I thought no one he will never get the ability to show his abilities, but he stuck with it. He stuck through the sports entertainment shit, and now he's able to like showcase himself in the ring. So
that's the hope anyway. And he keeps losing to Xavier Woods and his backwoods, which apparently is his finisher or something now.
Oh my god! What's the name of the faction? The Eastie Boys.
The Eastie. I mean, that's what Pat McAfee keeps calling them. I don't know if it's official or anything, but
so Eastie, am I assuming is from their East Enders from London?
Yeah, I guess. So
okay,
the boys from back in the day. I like the way they've been presented. I like the vibe. Like a bunch of rowdy
Peaky
Europeans.
Blinders.
Yeah. So it's just I don't know lah. I would like for them. Like, it's kind of comedic now, right? What they're doing.
Yeah.
To take it maybe at some point one step further, where it no longer becomes comedic and Butch really fucks people up. I
want them to be hooligans.
Yeah. Like, okay, I don't know why this is one of my favorite movies, Trainspotting. I don't know if you've ever watched it.
Oh yeah, Ewan McGregor, right?
Yeah. There's this one guy, Big B, I think was his character's name. If you remember, like he was the loose cannon. He was the one that would just start fights and stab people. Like they were just being rowdy, but he's the one that would take it one step further and cross the line and start stabbing people and shit like that. Like Butch could be that, of course, without the stabbing lah. But you know what I mean? Like
it gives them the edge lah, in a sense.
Yeah, you could have Sheamus and Rich Holland. Yeah, they love drinking, they love getting into fights, but Butch is the one that will disappear and he will fuck somebody up. He will break people's fingers. I mean, I'm trying to think of it in a PG way.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Like, I think they need some sort of like what's the word? Wild card.
Yep.
In the group that makes it interesting. And you have to keep in mind, bro. We have to look a bit in the future. They're gonna have a British pay-per-view for the first time in like a long time, right? In Wales there. So they need their UK wrestlers to be like baby faces or like have a great following. Even if they're the heels, they probably get cheered when they go there.
Exactly.
this could be their way of building them up. And then we have one time Drew McIntyre as well, remember?
Yes. Oh, speaking of which, I think we have a bit of a lag situation. Don't worry, we'll ride through the lag as we always do. We're going to move on now to what seems to be, anyway. Okay, so right now on SmackDown, right? We hit a bit of lag, so I don't know if you heard what I just said. But right now on SmackDown, it feels like there are three main stories. So there's the Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair story. Oh, wait, okay. One more sub-story, small quest line. Let's talk about Madcap Moss and Corbin.
Do we have to? But like, okay.
Okay, yeah. We thought that once he broke off from Happy Corbin, he would maybe change his look a bit and not be Madcap. But why? Okay. Why
he needs a blow off lah. I think he needs to extend it a bit so he can have that blow off match with.
Have the blow off match with Happy Corbin, but why not take this opportunity to change the character? Don't be Madcap Moss anymore. You know, the whole idea was he was only telling jokes for Baron Corbin's sake. So yeah, now be serious, be Moss, be Riddick, or just be Moss, whatever lah. Okay, no first names, WWE.
I saw the backstage segment. Apparently Happy Corbin tried to win him back or ask him to join him back, right? Yeah. And then I think he did make I guess quite an okay joke about his hairline.
But it's still like, it's not the basis of a character where he makes jokes. It's still cringe to me, you know?
I would argue, like legit, bro. Has there ever been a comedian gimmick in WWE?
Not like there have been
like a stand-up comedian as a gimmick.
No, there have been comedic wrestlers, the comedic characters, right? But like, I mean, if you want to put it in that vein, The Rock was a comedy character, but when it came down to the ring, he was serious and he didn't dress like an ass.
Well, the dressing like an ass definitely can be changed.
Yeah, like my point is, you want to have funny lines, that's fine, but dress like, you know, like a badass. Like I keep bringing up The Rock. He was funny, but he looked like a star. Riddick can look like a star, but he's fucking wearing suspenders now.
Yeah, it's tough lah. He got the body. Yeah. He got the look. Yeah. He give him some tights, he straight away become a serious wrestler already.
Irvin says the only buff stand-up comic is Joe Rogan. That's true.
I mean, I would argue Joe Rogan also not that funny lah. He's just a stoner.
Wait, have you seen his stand-up comedy specials? It's hilarious, bro.
I've seen it on I've seen it on Netflix. Netflix stuff.
Yeah. I would argue that his older stuff is funnier, but I mean that's a different point. Like, I mean, comedy is hard to pin down lah.
Yeah, comedy is subjective, so maybe he's just not my kind of thing. But again, it goes back to my point. I think stand-up comedy gimmick might work, especially in the sports entertainment realm like WWE.
I beg to differ in that it's like, you know, like that's why Dolph Ziggler is a legit stand-up comic, right? But he's not using it as his gimmick because it's a very cheesy gimmick, and it's not like he can go into the ring and have a 20-minute stand-up comedy special.
I mean, if every pre-match he cracks a joke and that is actually legitimately funny, not only he puts over himself as a comedian, but bro,
that's just a funny promo. That's it. That's not a stand-up comic. That's a funny promo, you know. And funny promos will work. Like Xavier Woods when they come, or the New Day when they come out, they cut a promo, but they're not stand-up comics. As in, that's not their gimmick. You know, I just don't see where a stand-up comic gimmick would go. I think it would just be a crutch, and it would just be cheesy lah at the end of the day. Because once you label somebody stand-up comic, that fucker better be funny, you know. If not, the crowd's gonna shit on it. Yeah,
of course. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if there is a wrestler out there who legitimately has a stand-up comic background,
Dolph.
I mean, I know Dolph, I think too late in his career to try that out, unless he wants to do like an Edge resurgence revival of his character. But like, can you imagine legitimately like a stand-up comedian becoming a wrestler and his gimmick is a stand-up comedian, and if he's good at it?
We'll table that aside and move on because it's Madcap Moss. I don't believe we even spent 5 minutes on Madcap Moss right now. So the other, the three main stories on SmackDown: Ronda versus Charlotte, the tag team titles. Yeah. the unification. That's going to be huge. And apparently Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn is something they're putting more focus on. And how Sami has been running away from Drew. I wonder if this is Sami's like sort of payoffs. Like, okay, we put you through the Jackass stuff. Now you get to have like a proper main event match. Steel cage next week. They set it up because he managed to run away.
I saw the backstage segments he had with Roman Reigns. I thought that was very, very interesting. Like, it's interesting because it seems like Sami Zayn is this, like, he's like the shit stirrer, right?
Yeah,
he's going out, spreading all these conspiracies to Roman Reigns, and inadvertently, he is helping Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre come together and have their rivalry.
I think that is the point. I think that was the whole, like, all right, let's use him as a bridge to bring in Drew versus Roman, which is great. And, like, Sami is so good at what he does right now.
Yeah, he is. I think he's one of like the main attractions of SmackDown because he is the best example of he takes whatever that's given to him and he makes it work.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree with you. Okay, so let's move on from SmackDown then and talk about AEW. Ooh. Okay, I'm sorry. And maybe it's just I think it is maybe a little bit of my bias because everyone is losing their shit and nutting all over the fact that the Forbidden Door was announced. And see, this is my whole rationale, right? It's like New Japan guys have been showing up on AEW like very constantly already to a point where it's just not special. Do you remember when NXT invaded Raw and SmackDown? Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, and how big a deal that was? How many other times has that happened?
Yeah, it's only at one time.
Yeah, so you have this concerted effort. Okay, NXT is going to invade. We'll do it. We'll lead up to Survivor Series. Pop. That's it. Done. Never again. So if it should happen the next time, the second time will be less impactful, but it will still be interesting. Even though NXT and WWE, I mean Raw and SmackDown, technically we all know the same brand, right? Whereas like Ishii versus Cole, ooh, on Rampage. I'm not even getting into the match yet, okay? Just the promo that Adam Cole cut. Remember, we were shitting on the fact that, oh yeah, Tony Khan is going to come out and make an announcement. So he does that. Let's talk about the announcement. He comes out. To his credit, I think he probably heard the criticisms online. He didn't say too much. He invited, was it the president of New Japan?
Yeah.
Who didn't say anything at all. He's just
smart, very smart.
Yeah, stood there. And then basically Adam Cole makes all the announcements from there.
Yeah, so I didn't know Adam Cole was the official ambassador of New Japan.
Exactly. That's my point. I'm like, who this fella like all of a sudden talking for everybody? Is he Tony Khan's secretary? Like, why does he have the power to make a match with Ishii all of a sudden?
That's one thing. And then the whole Jay White coming out. I don't know, man. It was a very deflating announcement in my opinion.
It was. There was nothing like to build towards it, you know? Okay, to be fair, the big names, quote unquote, the big names, Tanahashi, Okada, all those, they haven't invaded yet, which is fine, right? Like, you save those for the big event and stuff like that. But, and Irvin brings this up as well. This, at the end of the day, is not going to bring in new fans. It's just for the hardcore fans, like, this is their wet dream. Like, nah, okay, this is targeted at a very niche crowd.
Yeah,
at the end
clearly is, yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, this is not going to benefit pro wrestling as a whole. You know what did bring a benefit pro wrestling as a whole? Logan Paul. Freaking jackass. As much as we hate to say it, that's what WWE is doing. They're bringing in new eyeballs. Whereas this one, like, I can tell my wife, you can tell your girlfriend, nah, they don't give a fuck.
Well, the thing is, if they can't give a fuck about Jackass and Logan Paul coming to watch wrestling, I don't think they give a fuck about a bunch of Japanese wrestlers coming to watch.
Yeah.
Exactly. I get your point, but definitely this is just to cater to their existing audience. But I also did say years back, I said like the biggest thing AEW can do was two things. Sign CM Punk and do a New Japan Super Show. That's the biggest thing that they can do.
The biggest thing they can do now is sign John Cena.
Well, that will never happen in a million years, but sure, that would be a big thing, of course.
You never know. Anything can happen in pro wrestling, right?
So basically, I take it that you are underwhelmed by the announcement or the manner of the announcement. Which one was it?
Irvin says SPW needs to get Xia Xue in SPW as a heel manager. You know what? If they did, it would definitely generate buzz.
Yeah.
Confirm.
You would definitely, short of Andrew, being very honest about what he's been doing up the last couple of weeks, that would be a huge news.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It would be. So, anyway, the point of it is even, okay, as a wrestling fan, the announcement was kind of, it wasn't that great to me as well.
Yeah, it was. I think the ramifications of the thing was huge in the sense that, okay, it gave a lot of like articles after the fact. People were discussing dream matches and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But the way it could have been presented on television, I think could have been much better.
Yeah. And then what else happened on Dynamite? I don't even remember Dynamite. My memory is so short.
CM Punk versus Dustin Rhodes opening match.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we got two veterans actually in there. But at the end of the day, this was just a Shook Sindiri match. It's like,
it was I guess homage, man. I think they've been giving a lot of Bret Hart love recently.
Yeah. Well, they've been trying to court Bret Hart, it feels. But
maybe in time for the Owen Hart Cup.
But I read a thing. I don't know if it's confirmed, a dirt sheet thing that WWE recently signed Bret Hart.
I don't know, but the thing is, Bret Hart will do what Bret Hart wants to do.
Yeah, exactly.
No amount of ass kissing will make him do whatever he wants to do.
Well, I mean, Tony Khan, I thought you got more money. What's going on?
I don't know, but I think if Bret Hart was to sign with WWE, is clearly a legacy thing, like with Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
his footage is there, his legacy is there, so yeah, nothing against AEW in that sense.
No. It would be like it'll be an ambassador, that kind of thing. Basically to do it so that AEW can't sign him.
Yes, agreed. My favorite thing on AEW was clearly Wardlow.
Yes.
Wardlow is just becoming Goldberg in a good way. In a good way.
The Shadow, is good to see you, man. Welcome to the chat. So it feels like MJF is the smartest guy there at this point. Like, so far, every feud, even going all the way back, like everything that he's done, every feud that he's been in has been watchable or must-see pro wrestling, has it not? Other than CM Punk, who else on that? So we're talking about AEW originals, right?
Yeah.
Like, just think back. MJF has had the best storylines. The best feuds, the best thing. Like now with the Wardlow, before that with CM Punk, even the stuff he did with Jericho. I you talk about the four pillars, for example. Darby Allin, maybe number 2, right? His association with Sting definitely helped. Sammy Guevara, there have been ups and downs. Hangman Page, I would say the worst.
I mean, I guess if you're talking about fourth pillar, Jungle Boy is clearly non-existent.
No.
He lost this past week to Kyle O'Reilly, which was to me actually quite unexpected though. Also,
nobody cares.
Unfortunately, because if Kyle O'Reilly won a match as a single star in AEW the first time he came, it would have been a big deal.
Bro, AEW has the best tag team division. Shut up. Stop. They might have the players, they don't have the booker.
Their top champion is the 5th most popular tag team in AEW. How?
Yeah, you got freaking FTR, Young Bucks.
I mean, even Blackpool Combat Club is considered more interesting right now.
Yeah.
Even the Acclaim, even the Gun Club.
Yeah, like every tag team is more interesting than the stupid dinosaur and the Jungle Boy.
Yeah. So the less said about it, the better, But anything else? Okay, Sammy Guevara clearly living up as a heel right now.
Oh my god.
Living it up.
Yeah. I don't hate it. It's like I said last week, it's edge leader vibes. Not quite there yet, but it's there.
It is. They are leaning into it. At least this is an example of them. Okay, they are listening to the fans. Okay, they don't like us. What we do? Fine, lean into it. We become the heel.
Okay, how about? So they hired Lance Archer, right? First of all, Wardlow, MJF, love that stuff.
Oh, okay.
But they went ahead and hired Lance Archer, and that promo backstage with Jake Roberts, rare sighting, bro, rare sighting. He just shows up, takes a bunch of money, mumbles some shit, and then you thought that was bad. Lance Archer comes in and yells some shit, everybody dies and walks off.
Lance Archer literally just burst into the screen. And do you see? I think he slapped Jake Roberts' hand. Like, hey, old man, get out of the way. I want to cut my promo like that.
Like they're still together. Yeah. Okay, great. I don't know what he's done for you recently, but It's like, is he his dad or what?
He looked a bit like the dementia dad that they had to take care of lah.
Yeah.
It was weird, but I guess I would like to see that match. Wardlow versus Lance Archer.
No, but here's the thing. The way that Lance Archer has been portrayed on AEW, I know exactly how this is gonna go. He's just gonna have a bloody brutal match and he's still gonna lose. He's like the hired gun that comes in like to lose and then fucks off for a while. So
essentially what happened this past week with the Butcher.
Oh yeah, exactly. So he hired gun. So like I was like, oh my god. It's like I get that you need to throw challenges in front of Wardlow, but build up these people. Like what they've done with Lance Archer just makes it so that we just know this is a filler match. And then of course this is their smart booking. Let's put him on Rampage and kill Serpentico. It's like who doesn't know what's gonna happen here? You know?
That's the issue in that sense. This is the same pattern. The Butcher also the same thing. Before his match on Dynamite, he had a squash match on Rampage to showcase his abilities.
Hey, remember, this guy's a threat. Like, let's forget about the fact that the past few weeks he's been jobbing out or on Dark or whatever shit.
Non-existent even on television.
Speaking of non-existent, the Hardys, their entire momentum is dead. Right now, I don't care if they show up or not. It's like, who cares?
I would argue not just the Hardys, bro. Samoa Joe.
Oh my god. Hey, did he not show up at all?
He didn't do anything this past week. No ROH news, no Satnam Singh, no Jay Little. Bro, it's basically they're cutting their promos. They're doing segments 2 weeks at a time. So they do one segment, they disappear 1 week. Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, it is a problem. There's no continuity. And if there's no continuity, people don't feel the connection, right? It's like, and we talked about this to death. There are so many more distractions. There's MMA, there's Netflix, Disney Plus, video games. They're fighting for people's attention, and if they don't continually give us the best stuff, it's gonna be a problem,
Yeah, it's tough. To end it all off, we got the main event of Dynamite. It was what? Darby Allin versus what's his face? Andrade, right?
Coffin match. Yeah, I didn't pay attention to this. I don't care. Andrade has been. This is the other the problem. Andrade doesn't seem like a threat to anybody.
He seems to always lose all the big high-profile matches.
Yeah, you give him this gimmick where he's this money maker, deal maker. And he doesn't even have his own proper faction. His faction was the one he bought from Matt Hardy. That was a jobber faction to begin with.
And his faction, didn't even come and save him. The one that kena beaten up for him was Jose.
Yeah.
Do you see they did a spot where I think they backdrop him into like a thumbtacks that was like the coffin, the door, the lid had thumbtacks, right?
Yeah, on the inside, yeah.
But they completely missed the entire spot because the camera cut away at the exact moment he kena backdrop. Oh dear! And then this guy take a bump like that for no entire reason. I don't know. It's sad lah.
Yeah. So no amount of CM Punk and Daniel Bryan is going to save this show. Like this past week, it felt more like comedy hour. If anything, we got a lot of Botch Club content, so that's great. So you don't need to watch AEW, just watch Botch Club's Instagram account.
My favorite thing on YouTube is Promo Joe. You go YouTube that shit.
Okay.
His job is every single week he recap AEW in memes. He just does memes of AEW and all the Easter eggs and references from the show. So that's the best way to enjoy AEW right now, because I feel like they still have to get through Double or Nothing.
Yeah,
they need to build up. So it's still 1 month away. So there's going to be a lot more filler until then.
Let's talk about Rampage real quick. I mean, Jade Cargill had a match with Marina Shafir. Yeah, 2 green competitors, very good. Did it stand out to you at all?
30-0. I didn't think Marina Shafir was going to be the one that defeats Jade Cargill. Mm-hmm. But that's why it was interesting that it was such a long match. I was very surprised they gave them so much time.
But I mean, you had the whole baddie section getting involved as well. It was rough. It was
rough. It was rough. You know how crazy it is? Red Velvet used to fight with Jade Cargill.
And just randomly, they didn't even explain.
Yeah, she just turned heel.
And then, I'm a fan. I'm bad. Stop it, okay? Keith Lee, Swerve Strickland, for crying. Oh my god. Has there been, you talk about WWE guys coming in, a bit of momentum. Once again, flat. No hype really.
I think Keith Lee, tough.
Tough. Like
it's tough. I don't know what else to say, man.
I feel like they put Swerve with him so Swerve can cut the promos.
Swerve can be the charismatic one, right?
But something about Swerve just isn't sticking with the AEW crowd. Like I feel like every time he goes, whose house? Dead.
You know who reminds me of Swerve Strickland?
Who?
He a bit like Wiz Khalifa, bro.
Oh, is it?
He's just, Wiz Khalifa, the black
rapper?
and yellow, the rapper, right? He got the same dreads.
Okay.
The thing about Wiz Khalifa is he's well known for being a stoner.
Oh.
So this guy looks like he's just like, yeah, what up?
Okay.
That's his vibe. So his vibe is not energetic at all. So like maybe I get tired when I see him on screen.
When he had hit Row, it worked because he's showcasing his skill, his rapping, and then he had other producers there as well. It was an entire package. Now you put him with Keith, and it's just super underwhelming. Talking about underwhelming, the Owen Hart Foundation match between Adam Cole and Ishii.
Ishii.
I know a lot of New Japan fans are upset because Ishii lost, right? But okay, there was shenanigans. So I don't, who wins and who loses, whatever, it doesn't matter as long as they build a proper story. The fact that the match itself though is like your typical quote unquote strong style.
Didn't the match come out of nowhere also?
Yeah, like this is the one that Adam Cole on Wednesday said, I'm going to have a fight with Ishii just to give a bit of a taste because he apparently books shit now, right? I did not match. I thought it was dumb. I thought it made the business look dumb because like they were like hitting each other with finishers, but Ishii just like, no, I'm Stone Tiger, look at me, all your, like, okay.
Stone Pitbull.
Stone Pitbull, whatever lah, Stoner, whatever lah. Like I couldn't do it. I rolled my eyes super hard.
They are sending the worst. It's like WCW didn't send the best to fight WWE.
Yeah, because they didn't have the contract. Yeah.
No offense to Suzuki, no offense to Ishii. They're not the biggest stars in AEW.
They're over the hill.
Yeah, they're done. They're veterans at this point. They're New Japan's people that put over the new talent. You know what I mean?
And let's face it, Adam Cole is not exactly the top guy as well. He's not been portrayed as the top guy for a long time in AEW.
Yeah. It's like what you say, it's just a taste. I hope this is not the real feeling, the real menu that they have on show, because if this was the appetizer, like, I'm not interested in the thing. What would interest me is like, fucking hell, Bryan Danielson suddenly say, I'm gonna challenge Okada.
Yeah.
That will interest me. Like Will Ospreay suddenly appearing on the screen cutting a promo like, apparently you guys are the best wrestlers in the world, but I am the best wrestler of the universe. Come fight me, CM Punk.
You know what it is? I feel like they literally just inked the deal. They haven't set any plans yet, but Tony Khan cannot wait. Tony Khan, he freaking marking out. He's like, let's just announce it first. The announcement itself is big enough. No. Give us something really, you know what I mean? That's why the announcement was flat. Like, Ishii is in town. Let's give people a taste.
I dare say they should have made a storyline out of it.
Yes, exactly.
Why can't it be like a top wrestler sitting in the middle of the ring, pulling out a chair and like, I'm done fighting all the wrestlers in AEW. I want to fight some more. New Japan, I'm calling you out. Something like that.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. Start at the top, then fill out the rest. Not give us a mid-card match.
Remember the first time Chris Jericho ever appeared on screen in New Japan?
The
crowd just went crazy, interrupting Kenny Omega.
Yep, exactly. So what? Okay, ideally, if they really die must make the announcement. Make the announcement as a press release, or they don't have an authority figure. That's the problem, right? To make the announcement. But yeah, exactly. You need a top guy or top gal to make. Actually, no. Does New Japan have a women's division? They don't, right?
No, they don't.
Okay, they need a top guy to sort of be the linchpin, to be the one that holds the whole thing together.
Yeah.
Like if Jericho wasn't involved, maybe make Jericho be. Jericho's been to both. Maybe he can be like the go-between, whatever it is. But have a top tier star be the one that kicks things off, not Adam Cole. Adam Cole's not a top guy. Ishii's not a top guy.
Yeah. The thing is, at the end of the day, they can't even promote it yet because they said to get through Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
So this thing will only start like going crazy like probably in after May, end of May. So we still got about a month left. So okay, we'll probably forget about it. You know what? Now they're gonna be so focused on this. He will probably forget about ROH.
Oh God, yeah. Oh no. That is so sad. And then now you have Samoa Joe twiddling his thumbs going, what the fuck?
Yeah, that is life. I can't believe it took 1.5 hours to get to Randy Orton.
I know.
But I've been very patient, but I think it's time.
I mean, there's always stuff to talk about. That's why we love this love-hate, this pro wrestling stuff, right? Okay, so 20 years. That's how long Randy Orton has been in the WWE. Well, since he made his debut. Obviously, he's, done Ohio Valley, OVW.
Oh yeah, OVW.
For the longest time. So interestingly enough, and the good thing about the WWE network, you can immediately go and see like best ofs. They always put that stuff. Do you want to kick things off and tell us?
I'm trying to pull out the IG story of all the, because I asked what's your favorite like Randy Orton memories.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can't seem to figure out where is the. Okay, it's under stories. Yes. So first of all, I need to tell you about my relationship with Randy Orton. Like why I have such a deep connection towards the man, right? I remember. Do you remember Raw vs SmackDown, the very first Raw vs SmackDown game on PS1, PS2?
Yeah.
Right. It was because we for what he had the Here Comes the Pain SmackDown series, right? And then they had a refresh. Then it became Raw vs SmackDown. And I do not know whether you played that game when it came out, 2004, I think.
Of course I did.
Yeah, so I bought the game and I was like, so I just got into wrestling. Like I was Primary 4, Primary 5, and I was like, okay, what is this game? Well, okay, so Vince McMahon was there. He was the cover of the game, right? He got Raw and SmackDown on both eyes. And then when the promo for the game started, like what do you call it, the video, like the pre-video before the main menu, right?
The intro video, yeah.
Yeah. And then it was like SmackDown versus Raw. I can't remember what is it, but like history, like they make it sound fucking epic. And then the scene cut to, but the future is here. And then you saw John Cena and Randy Orton facing each other.
Yes, I remember.
So Randy Orton was like the face of, I guess, the future of Raw, and John Cena was the future of SmackDown. And me as a kid, no idea who these two wrestlers are. No idea their context. I only know Stone Cold, The Rock, like those were the big stars. But I saw these two young guns, and then they look at each other, and then it made it sound like they really are the future.
Yeah.
And I just like, whoa, this is fucking cool. Like, who the hell are they? So that's when I started watching the shows on a regular basis. And my first ever pay-per-view that I ever bought, WrestleMania 20 on VCD. Do you remember? That was the match where Evolution fought against the Rock and Sock Connection. Right? And all I remember in the promos leading up to that WrestleMania, there was this one promo where Randy Orton had a face-to-face one-on-one segment with The Rock.
Okay.
Yeah, and they talk about how Randy Orton is like the first third generation star after The Rock, right? And then The Rock said, "Oh yeah, I remember when my dad Rocky Johnson smacked the lips out of your father Cowboy Bob Jr. And then I remember when my grandfather Peter Maivia beat the shit out of your grandfather Cowboy Bob." Oh, so like it was funny because of course everyone loves The Rock, but I like the fact that there was like a newer version, younger version of The Rock, like that he is antagonizing, but he sounded like he might be the future, literally. And that's when I kind of gravitated towards Randy a bit more. And even at that age, bro, 23, 24, he was such an asshole. He was so good at being a heel. Maybe because he was a real life douchebag. Perhaps.
Wow. I mean, he has quite the history, right? Like, didn't he Zao NS or something like that?
Yeah.
He went AWOL.
He cabut from the Marines.
From the Marines and everything. So he had an attitude issue. A lot of his sort of history kind of mirrors Shawn Michaels a bit, if you think about it, right? This young upstart who is a bit uncontrollable, but then he's always been there, and then now he's matured into this, like, respectable guy.
Yeah, it's an interesting story, especially like if you follow his career from the beginning, right? To see the growth, because when he started out, he was the young guy, he was the kid.
Yeah.
He always had Triple H like scolding him like, hey, you don't fuck up, blah blah blah. He always had Ric Flair being by his side.
Yeah.
And then his rivalry with Mick Foley, that Cactus Jack Backlash 2004 match.
This was the one where he kicked Mick Foley down the stairs, right? The promo was leading up to it, or this was what was leading up to it.
Yeah, one of the promos was him doing that. But this match was famous for his RKO into the thumbtacks.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Yeah, because that was the night, right, where he became from a pretty boy that no one took seriously to like, oh, this young guy is actually quite tough.
Yeah.
Like, he could actually make it in the business.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was the whole idea, right? To give an edge to this preppy, baby face, as it were, even though he was a bad guy. Do you remember when he first debuted with the blue trunks? He wasn't wearing like the swimsuit trunks. He was like the briefs. No, the boxer trunks.
I did. He fought against Hardcore Holly, right? That was his debut match.
Do you remember his finisher?
It wasn't the RKO.
No, it was. I think it was called the Overdrive or something weird shit like that, where it was like one of those weird swinging. Like, okay, you know what I'd like to call it? It's one of those moves where they're like, they set around, okay, we need to come up with something new and interesting looking, but it would never fly as a finisher. And if you think about it, nobody has ever used that move since then because it was just way too weird of a setup.
I know someone else who used that move and made it a finisher, but I agree, it was such a clunky move. Like, it takes so long to like set it up.
Yeah.
I believe MVP used to use it as his playmaker. But it wasn't a good move.
No, it wasn't. And that's the thing, right? And we've talked about this before. I feel like Randy Orton is the perfect combination of everything. Character work. He had the right mentors. Athletic as hell. Issues aside, ultimately he dove into every character and he portrayed them well. And he had the perfect finisher. Like, you talk about a finisher that is meme level finisher. Like, I don't get like who. Other than the Hogan's leg drop, right? Like, what other finisher out there is like people who don't even watch wrestling? They know an RKO. They know what an RKO is. Name me another.
Yeah, I mean the only the most iconic, like Stone Cold Stunner. Everyone knows.
Rock Bottom, maybe the Figure 4, but even then, that one like a bit old fashioned already.
Even the FU, attitude adjustment.
Yeah, but I would dare say that the RKO is better than the attitude adjustment in terms of like people knowing the move. Like, people know John Cena as actor and You Can't See Me.
Yeah, You Can't See Me more than the actual finisher, right?
Yeah, for Randy, like whoever, I don't know the history of it, but like even video games. Like every time there's a new WWE game that comes out, the first person I play is usually Randy Orton. Because,
really?
Yes, yeah. Because he's always like that perfect combination of cool moves and the best finisher in the business. And I've always said this, finisher needs to work on everybody. Like, you can hit it out of nowhere. So that creates the most drama. So like, he had the Diamond Cutter. Like, even I dare say it's better than the Diamond Cutter, because the Diamond Cutter, I don't know if you remember, like DDP used to set it up even. There was like a few seconds of setup, whereas the way Randy did it, he would literally just pull it out of nowhere.
He just snaps and does it. And you're right, there was some growth to how he actually developed it. Like, I remember at the beginning, 2003, he was setting it up. He hold the guy in his head for a bit, and then he would do the move,
drop,
right?
Like DDP, yeah.
But I would argue to say that for Randy Orton, right, I think a majority of his appeal, like probably 60% of his appeal, is his finisher.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah, RKO, I think the best finisher of all time, like you said, can be done anywhere and all that. But what I like about Randy, even a bit more than his out of nowhere, because that one became a meme, that one became cool, that one became popular. But what I like about him was that he was such a natural in the ring. I don't know who else have anyone else made this comparison, but I would argue to see he is as smooth in the ring as Randy Savage.
Oh, that's very good. It's the Randy curse. Randy's all very good.
All the touch wood, all the Randys in the business are all fucking great workers. But I think you will remember how Randy Savage wrestled in the ring.
Yeah.
I used to watch him all the time when I was younger. I don't know why, because I think, you know what he is? He was watching Spider-Man and then seeing Randy Savage in Spider-Man the movie. I was like, who is this guy? His voice.
Bro,
3 minutes of playtime.
Bone Crusher, bro. That was the character, right?
Yeah. And I just started watching his matches for no reason. But anyway, the point is, Randy is the kind of guy, right, that makes wrestling feel like an art form. Like, it's not just his move, his facials, bro.
Yep.
He has one of the best face game in the business.
Yep.
I remember, okay, I don't know whether you remember this memory, but it's a very, very obscure memory. When Shawn Michaels returned, and then he had a match in 2007 Survivor Series with Randy Orton, and Randy Orton was a champion at that point in time. And the stipulation of that match was Shawn Michaels couldn't use his switching music.
Yeah.
I think you might have remembered this.
I remember this vaguely.
The whole time, the match was so interesting because Shawn Michaels started pulling out like other people's finishes. He did the crossface. He did the sharpshooter. He did a bunch of like other moves. And then the one time he wanted to do the switching music, right? He like started. Then he hesitated a bit. And then that 1 second of hesitation, Randy Orton did the RKO and beat him.
Yep.
So it was such a great psychology of a match. And then the ending, right? So that he was celebrating, he was like, shouting at Shawn Michaels on the ground, like, yeah, you suck, man. You need the switching music to beat me, but you can't beat me without it. And then he was celebrating, he went to one side, he went up the ropes, and then as he turned around, HBK did the switching music, right? And the way he collapsed and fell was super epic.
Right.
I don't know how to explain it, but he kena the part in the face, right?
Yeah.
He dropped to his knees, and then his head like fell on the ground, and then he like stone like on the floor. He was like, I don't know. He just stayed at that. His body just froze, like kena petrificus totalis, and he just froze on the ground, and then like his butt is in the air.
Right.
And then he's just like, I don't know. He just so great at like selling in a way that is believable but also like unforgettable for me.
Yeah.
So that is my appeal to for Randy. But okay, I just pull out the comments made by our listeners, okay, on Instagram. So Shafiq the Slayer 501 said when he first won the World Heavyweight Championship.
This was when he was in Evolution. Right?
Evolution, fighting against He Who Must Not Be Named.
Yes. And then, of course, this leads to the turn where they excommunicated him from Evolution.
Yeah, very interesting because a lot of people said at that point in time, the only reason he won that title at that age was so that he can strike Brock Lesnar out of the record books.
Oh, right. And be the youngest quote-unquote champion. And this was when they made him a babyface champion, and it just wasn't working out because, Randy Orton, in real life at that time as well, he was a bit of a prick too. So it was like... Yeah.
It's interesting because I felt like it was a bit too early in his run, but he looked so good with that World Heavyweight title belt, man. That he first won it.
He did.
Yeah, he did. Okay, Carl Mike, also like me, Randy Orton versus Mick Foley. Such an epic feud, man. And I saw a couple of days ago, Mick Foley posted on Twitter about the match, and Randy Orton replied to him. And thanking him, for that match, And I think Mick Foley said it was his favorite match of all time that he ever did.
Really?
Was a part of. Yeah, even more than his street fight with Triple H.
Okay.
It means a lot for him. Okay, so Fugger vs. Randy Orton versus Undertaker was iconic. This rivalry, bro.
Which one? I don't remember this.
Randy Orton versus Undertaker WrestleMania 21. He feuded with Undertaker the entire year of 2005. Do you remember?
Actually, very vaguely. Okay, what was the main crux of their argument?
Okay, so in 2005 WrestleMania 21, there was a couple of cross-branded inter-promotional matches. So of course, everyone remembers HBK versus Shawn Michaels, right?
Yeah. HBK versus Shawn Michaels.
Sorry, HBK versus Kurt Angle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But then there was this was when Randy Orton just left Evolution. He's had a failed baby face turn. Then he started turning back into a heel. Remember he RKO Stacy Keibler?
Oh yeah, that I remember. Yes.
Yeah, he did that, and then he RKO Jake the Snake Roberts. He RKO like a bunch of Undertaker's rivals from the past.
Was this like pre or post Legend Killer? It's pre, right?
He was turning. He's already full-blown Legend Killer at this point in time.
Okay.
So this match he had with Undertaker was best known for the RKO counter from the chokeslam.
Yes.
Yeah, so he did that, and then they went separate ways for a couple of months, and then they got together again because Randy Orton got traded to SmackDown, And Randy Orton versus Undertaker was for SummerSlam, and this was when he brought back Cowboy Bob Orton as his manager.
Okay, I actually do remember this now. And Cowboy always had the stupid cast on his arm, right?
Yeah. So
that he would use.
He used, and then they had another match in No Mercy. This match was popular because this was the match that Randy Orton threw Undertaker into the casket and then he burned the casket.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, this one you remember, right?
I remember this, of course, yes.
So when this happened, I think they thought the rivalry was going to end. But then Undertaker returned at Survivor Series of that year because Randy Orton was the final survivor.
Yep.
That was the Survivor Series right after Eddie Guerrero passed away. So they had a Raw versus SmackDown, and like everyone was wearing the Eddie Guerrero's armbands, right?
Yep.
So at the end of the match, everyone was celebrating. Randy Orton was like sitting on top of like Batista's shoulders, blah blah blah, and then there was the gong.
Yeah.
Everyone disappeared. Everyone like just left Randy Orton in the middle of the ring. And then the casket came out. The casket got struck by lightning. It was on fire to recreate the scene of him getting burned, right? And then the thing came out and Undertaker just stepped out of the casket. And then the feud ended with Hell in a Cell, Armageddon.
Right. Okay, I think I remember this now.
Yeah, the entire year I think was a great. I think because not only it elevated Randy, but he had managed to wrestle against a legend and had his father by his side.
Right.
So yeah, it was a good memory for sure.
Bro, the fact that you remember every single detail of this entire feud.
Bro, Randy Orton fan, bro. What do you expect?
Sure. Go ahead. Who else do we have?
Okay, Jinx Curse, the Trickster, right?
Trickster, yeah.
He said, Legend Killer, Orton versus Cena feud.
Wow.
And times where he was punting Flair RVD.
Okay.
So it was popular in that sense. So John Cena feud, and his entire, when he became psycho and started punting everyone for no reason.
Yeah, and we all know that the only person who can withstand the punt is HBK lah, but that's a different story altogether.
Oh dear, yeah.
Okay.
But John Cena feud, what's your thoughts on that rivalry, Cena and Orton?
The thing with this rivalry is that we've seen that rivalry. It's like Austin Rock, right? Like, which version of it? They fought so many times. It's become one of those epic rivalries, but it's also hard to pin down a specific time that these two fought.
Yeah, I would argue, right? This is my personal opinion as a Randy Orton fan. I think they botched the rivalry, bro.
You think so? Okay.
It would have been so much bigger, been such a bigger deal. One thing, they never had a Cena versus Orton match at WrestleMania.
Okay.
Then so many times they could have fought, but they didn't choose to fight at WrestleMania. That's one thing. Secondly, when like the first time, right, like they ever came face to face, it was a big deal. Like I said, the video game, like, oh shit, Randy versus Cena is like the future Rock versus Austin, right? But then they just overexposed the shit out of that rivalry. They like 2009, they fought like 5 consecutive pay-per-views. All different stipulation. And then they traded titles. Like one pay-per-view Cena would win, one pay-per-view Orton would win, blah blah blah. So it was such a waste. So because by the time people were just sick of the rivalry.
It's interesting because in that entire class of OVW as well, and in that time period, you had like some of the most amazing talents coming out, right? You had Batista, Brock Lesnar, who else? Shelton Benjamin. Like that is that one class that everyone sort of remembers very fondly.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, nobody expected Cena to be the top of the class. Right? Maybe it's a combination of Brock Lesnar leaving, combination of Batista going to Hollywood. But like, even when they were trying to decide who's going to be the next phase of the Ruthless Aggression era, people thought it was going to be Randy Orton. But again, Randy Orton didn't have the discipline. Yeah,
he didn't have the maturity. Whereas Cena, he's a company man through and through.
Boy Scout, what? So Superman.
Superman, exactly. No, Peacemaker.
Yes, but I love the fact that I think that dynamic was great because Cena was like a perfect good guy. Randy Orton loved playing the villainous. This was when he became the Viper, Apex Predator. So I can't forget, Botak Randy was the best Randy in my opinion.
Right, when he would slither around in the ring. And the way that, like, you have to remember the way, like, I don't know why I can hear Jerry Lawler's voice talk about how he's like a snake, the way he slithers into the ring and stuff like that. Like, when you talk about Randy Orton, to me, I think of that. And then, of course, the multiple RKO calls out of nowhere, Yeah,
he leaned into it. Like, I know at the beginning he wasn't a Viper, but I think once the commentators started calling him or recognizing him as that, he started like really becoming like slithery. He became like Voldemort, bro.
Yeah, he was literally slithery, and it kind of works towards his finisher as well because it's like a sudden strike, like like how a cobra would strike. It's all very sudden, very quick, right?
Yeah, I love it when the entire character and the moveset all is like in perfect harmony,
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense. Okay, so continuing, Lincoln also say Randy Orton versus Mick Foley, Backlash. Jason, I hope you're still on the live chat. RKO on Seth at WrestleMania as he went for the Storm.
Oh. That, I mean, I wonder who came up with. I'm sure there's a documentary out there that they've revealed who came up with that spot, but yeah.
I know who came up with the spot. In the documentary they did talk about
Seth,
it. Yeah, it was Seth.
Oh, of course. Like Seth seems to be that indie guy who's like, holy shit, I want to create this moment, this awesome move. Yeah.
Well, okay, what's crazy was, right, you have to understand, in 2015, Randy was a bit like checked out of the business. He wasn't really that interested.
Right.
I think this was when he was just gonna marry the wife, and then he's like enjoying marriage life, don't really care. He's like coasting a bit. So from the documentary, I think it's the WWE 24 on WrestleMania 31 UK. So there was this one segment where Seth was saying like he was trying to put the match together with Randy, and then he was saying like, "Hey, I think I can do this move." And then Randy was actually a bit against it. He was like, "No lah, just do a normal RKO lah. I don't want to like try something I'm not good at." Like Randy was very set in his way.
Okay.
Yeah, but then Seth was saying, okay, no, don't worry. I know I can do it. Okay, we can practice it one time. So they did practice it like one time before the show. But then like it looked okay. But Randy said like, I don't think I can get you up high enough.
Yeah.
Right? To make it look impressive. And then he said, okay, don't worry. On the actual show, I'm gonna jump on your head. Like literally put force on your head. You just flick my... So basically when they were trying it out, he just like stepped a bit and then he did the RKO.
Right.
But he said in the match, I want you to really like snap your neck up lah.
Yeah. To give him the lift. Right?
Yeah. And of course, at WrestleMania, they had like the best lift. Like it literally flew in the air and did the RKO.
Like it was the most perfect RKO in the history of anything ever.
Yeah, and the flat bump was perfect and everything, right? And what's so funny was during the documentary, Seth said Randy was so surprised and so shocked at how awesome the move went. He actually didn't pee him at first. He was busy celebrating.
Right.
So like the whole time, so I think Randy was like, yeah, oh my god, amazing. He was just like walking around the ring, and then Seth in his flat state, he was actually calling out to Randy, "Hey, Randy, go for the cover!"
He forgot. He was too like hyped up in the moment.
Yeah. So like that was an amazing. I mean, I thought the best RKO of all time was the shooting star press by Evan Bourne. He did a shooting star press, and then Randy from the ground, he stood up right in time to catch him and do the RKO.
Well, location is everything, isn't it? And time and place, because that happened on a Raw, was it?
Yeah, just happened on a normal Raw. But
versus
Randy
Seth Rollins, that one happened at WrestleMania, and that's why that's the one that will live down in infamy forever. Like and another move that, like another counter that lives in my memory is HBK versus Shelton Benjamin, if you remember.
Of course, he was the springboard into the switchy music, right?
And the way they sold it and everything else, like the only one, like if that happened at WrestleMania, I'm sure that would be on every highlight reel all the time.
I remember it was on a lot of highlight reels on Raw for a while, right? What made that, okay, I remember that moment, because you know what made that even more impressive?
What?
Like, when Shelton jumped, right, you can literally tell that it was so perfect. Like he managed to catch him right at the point in time before he landed.
Yeah.
So right, by the time he caught him mid-air, right? So by the time he kena the force, right?
Yeah.
From this, it became a back bump.
Correct. So he just kind of folded backwards. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks so impressive in that sense. And then do you remember there was this one Hulk Hogan look-alike in the stand? In the ringside watching. Yeah. And then when that happened, he just stood up. He's like, "Oh brother!" Like he pointed. Yeah. He pointed at the ring. I was like, "Oh yeah, great reaction."
I mean, it goes to show like this business is such a it's a game of like millimeters. Like just 1 second off, half a second too fast, too slow, and the whole thing doesn't look quite as perfect. But that's why we remember these moments. Anyway, back to Randy Orton. Okay.
Yeah, best counters. Randy Orton has the best counters with his RKOs for sure.
And it wasn't even a thing until I don't know who was the first person who they started to, okay, let's counter your move into, was it even, maybe it was Undertaker's like reversal of the chokeslam into the RKO? Because
that was the first, probably.
Yeah, I feel like it was after that, then they started like, hey, actually it's quite a cool thing to have him reverse into an RKO. And that's when they, did the SSP off the top rope into RKO. There have been a lot of like jumping frog splashes into an RKO.
Yeah, one of my favorites is a twist of fate counter into an RKO.
Right, yeah, there's that as well.
Randy, Jeff Hardy. So like, like you said, can be executed anywhere, out of anywhere, can be reversed out of anywhere. So
yeah, so that's what makes it the perfect move. And he, like we've said before also lah, he feels like the perfect guy because he's so smooth, right? And his frame and everything fits. Like we talk about how certain moves just look weird for people. To this day, I still think that Edge's spear looks weird.
I get it, because I think Edge's spear looks like he's hugging him.
Yeah, he's way too lanky, right? Even DDP, when he used to do the Diamond Cutter, DDP is very tall. So it looks kind of awkward. Randy is like, it's like all the stars align for Randy Orton.
You know what makes Randy's RKO so awesome? Like, he can do a jumping RKO on somebody like Big Show and it looks impressive because he can leap that high to catch his head.
Yep.
But then when he do an RKO on a Rey Mysterio, it looks freaking devastating because he's heavy and big, right?
Right.
So when he does it on Rey, you can see his head literally like spikes, spikes,
Hey, who was it recently that did that when they took was it Ricochet?
Yeah, Ricochet, the neck spike, right?
Yeah, he fucking went and hit stand one time. I'm like,
bro, he not only hit stand, bro, he literally made his neck go to one side.
Like
the car.
I'm like, bro, that looked cool, but please don't do that again.
Yeah, don't kill yourself, bro. Okay, just a few more. Adli say Randy versus Mick again. A lot of Randy versus Mick. NDSTEO1 say the jump split he did after the RKO on Mark Henry.
Yeah, I remember that. It's
most
a meme.
random shit ever.
Bro, he really gets into these moments where he's really enjoying himself. And that leads us to like his current run where, he said in interviews, like he just loves doing what he's doing now. He's super happy with this tag team with Riddle as well. And you can tell when they are having fun in there. And his latest promo, I think it was 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, where I feel like that's the most natural he's ever been in a promo where he's just cutting loose.
Yeah. The one where he like saying, "Who do you know who the hell I am?" to the Usos, right?
Yeah.
Like I think his comfort on the mic, because there was a point in time where he was criticized for being boring. People say he was boring, but I think what makes Randy appealing is the fact that he just don't give a shit. So I think he's boring is when he's actually, I think he's listening to instruction, but when he don't give it, when he's allowed to cut loose, then you can see his like true personality.
I feel like this is, and me coming from the media industry as well, I see a lot of parallels here in that when you are young in your career, you're worried about saying the wrong things. You have like people are telling you, say this, don't say this, don't say that. So you are not fully yourself. You're not fully, like you're overthinking every promo to a point where you sound stunted. That's why you see a lot of these people on NXT, their promos sound like ass because they are giving scripted shit, right? And this is the major criticism of the WWE. They're not letting the wrestlers have their own voices. Both a good and bad thing. Like some people are just terrible on the promo, and you can give them all the leeway, they'll still sound terrible. Ronda Rousey, we're looking at you. I have a plane flying by.
Yeah,
I don't even hear it.
Or some wrestlers need to be in certain situations that they can bring out that personality in there. Like, I think Ronda, if she kena the whole world against her and she's like wants to fight back, then she can have personality. Randy is more like, I don't give a shit. I'm happy. I can say whatever the F I want. Then I'll be super entertaining.
You see, it comes with like being there for so long. So he's like, okay lah, I'm set lah, I'm alive. So he can truly be himself. And I get it that some of the young ones, when they're like, oh, I better toe the company line, I better watch what I say because they're afraid for their jobs. Randy is in the most comfortable position. That's why he can be like who he is. Like going back to all the way like his first few promos, the like babyface promos, and he got injured and he did the RNN stuff. We'd be remiss not to bring up the fact that this was essentially what shot him to superstardom. Like he was literally your white meat babyface at first, right? You know, with the blue tights and then the overdrive as his finisher and shit like that. And then he got injured. And then he started cutting the RNN promos that was super disingenuous to a point where like, okay, I think him as a heel is going to work very well.
Super douchey. He was talking about like how his arm recovered 10%.
Yeah, 2% better. Like it's like wow, stop.
Yeah.
But
it was good.
Yeah,
it was good. But I think one thing about Randy, that why he's such a like great place in his life right now. I think as a veteran, right? I think for the longest time he felt he was so good. He was such a natural that he didn't get along well with people who are younger than him or his age because he's so much better than them, right?
Yeah.
And then he was supposed to be the locker room leader when he was still like 29, 30.
Yeah.
Right? So like when he was the world champion, he didn't feel truly comfortable because I think he had that responsibility of being a champion. So now that he is like really old enough, his age has catch up with his experience. Maybe that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, and the pressure's off. At this point, he's just having fun. And I think people do their best work when they are not,
carrying the company.
Yeah, they're not carrying the company. They don't have anything to prove. They're just out there to have fun. So, like, he's obviously, in a way, mentoring Riddle since they're working together so much. I don't know if the RKO is a good fit for Riddle. Like, when he does it, it looks very... Like we talked about, right? He's taller, so he's like a DDP frame. When he does it too, he sort of tucks into like a big ball. It looks weird to me when he does the RKO.
The only one time I liked his RKO was when he did it at WrestleMania. Remember he did it, I forgot to who, but he jumped from the side. Then he jumped on the ropes, springboard into the RKO.
Yeah.
Did he do it to Montez Ford? I think he did it to Montez Ford.
Okay.
That was impressive because that was the first time he cut an RKO that felt unique to Riddle.
Yeah.
Because Randy Orton will never do a springboard dive.
Yeah.
So Riddle did it. So like I think Riddle should be the more high-flying RKO.
Yeah. Personally, I don't think he should even do the RKO. He should just have his finisher once in a while, pull off the RKO. But it takes away from the whole. He doesn't look good doing it, and it's Randy's thing. So
he hasn't done his finisher for a while. His bro, what's it called?
Bro Derek, Bro Ton,
yeah, Bro Derek.
Whatever. All his finishers are stupid moves. I mean, stupid names to begin with.
Ton, then the Bro Derek. Yeah, he haven't done that in a while. So clearly, he's taking the more popular finisher and making it his own
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of it. Okay, that aside, anything else you want to? Mention about Randy before we wrap things up. I mean, we could go on for another 2 hours, but we won't because, we realize that lunchtime is just about over and we need to get on with our day as well.
Yeah, I mean, the last one is by Stubius, but I don't feel like it's something we should talk about for a long time. Favorite Randy Orton moment, taking a shit in some diva's bag.
Oh my god. Okay, so this is like one of those backstage things when, this was during his younger years, where he was a bit of a douchebag. Was it him? I thought it was X-Pac. I don't know. A lot of shits in... Apparently, so this is apparently a thing. I don't get it, right? Taking a shit in Jerry Lawler's crown, shitting in locker bags, and freaking Amber Heard shitting on Johnny Depp's bed. So apparently...
Oh my god.
Amber Heard could have been a WWE diva. With all the shitting.
A great heel, bro. She would be like Lita levels of heel if she became a WWE wrestler.
I love the memes, by the way, because like during the whole time, I don't know if you've been following the trial, Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard, right?
I've been, yeah.
Her face when they were playing or they were playing the footage, they're playing the audio recording, was it? Or they were talking about the fact that, she apparently shat on the bed.
Oh dear gosh.
It's like, when the whole world finds out that you shat on Johnny Depp's bed, it's like, oh my god, her face.
Her face is what? What she do?
Like fuck. Like, like this sian face.
Like, kena
caught face, like, it's like, oh.
Yeah, or stuff lah. So I guess the last point we can talk about is Randy's attitude problems at the beginning of his career. Like you said, I think he's just a young guy growing up in a business. He had to grow up too fast, and he's like angry, like fuck. I'm in my early 20s. I can't live my life.
Well, not just that too. I'm sure everyone was in his ear telling him how great he is. There's a thing about like your Justin Biebers and whatnot, Britney Spears. They grow up in the business. The limelight is on them the second they were, hitting puberty and whatever. And let's not forget Randy Orton, his dad, his grandfather, third generation. So he's already had all this pressure, all this put on him from a very young age. That's
he got the pressure. Yeah. He got the pressure, but also he got the talent. So I feel like, I think both sides of that is like pulling him.
Yeah, exactly. So he's probably taken it for granted. Like I said, his family, the people around him are telling him how great he is athletically. So of course he's going to have an attitude about it. If you surround yourself with yes men, then you'll never have a proper sense of what is reality. Like your Justin Biebers, like your Britney Spears, until they grow up and then they realize that, okay, this is not how life is. There are people out there who will, say no to you, and what you do is not perfect all the time. And that's where you see growth.
Yeah, and also like he's I mean, good-looking guy, probably gets a lot of girls, so probably he was like that, and then he got drug issues. Probably have a high sense of self-worth at that point in time, thinking he deserves all these accolades that comes to him. I remember he actually didn't get along well with like Batista. Batista didn't really like him. But because Batista is actually same age as Triple H, he knows that, but they are actually the same age. So Batista and Triple H is like, oh, this guy is like a young kid, still needs to grow up. Funnily enough, the one that gets along well with Randy the most in Evolution is actually Ric Flair.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ric Flair probably sees a bit of himself in Randy.
Can you blame him? Yeah, Ric Flair was like, yeah, man, like, you come, you follow me, you go drink, go check out chicks,
Yeah.
But it's crazy how, like I said, like he had to go through so many things. He went through a divorce. He divorced with his first wife. He had kids. So I think all these things had to mature him in some way or another, lah. Yeah. So glad that he's like considered a success story in wrestling.
Oh yeah, 100%. Started out with all the talent, but so many issues, and now he's like. Would you say he's the locker room leader in a way now?
Yeah, he is, but his kind of locker room leader is the kind I like. Like, he's not trying to be the locker room leader. He just is. He's a bit like Bret Hart in that sense.
Like
Bret Hart, Bret Hart never tried to like, oh yeah, guys, you must do this, you must do that. I think he's just chilling at the back, chilling with the boys. But he gave advice if people ask for it, and I think that makes him a locker room leader.
There you go. 20 years of Randy Orton. Bro, now, not gonna lie, you have me hankering to go onto the WWE network to watch some of his, like him versus Cena, that whole series. Yeah. Because I missed a bit of it as well.
Okay, because this was the time where you kind of stopped watching wrestling a bit, right?
Yeah.
Bro, just watch the most recent WWE Evil episode, Randy Orton biography.
Oh, is it? Okay, it's on him. Well, it's perfect then. That's exactly what I'll go watch.
Go check it out. I just want to just mention a couple of people on our chat which I never really see before. I'm assuming Davey is Div Royalty, right?
No, Div Royalty is Div Royalty.
Yeah, there's a new person, DEVI. Shout out to this guy. I think he's new because I haven't seen him before. But he said a bunch of things. But the one thing that he said that was funny was Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns too cute. Cody Rhodes versus Otis first to qualify for the WWE Unified Undisputed Championship. I guess what he's trying to say is, don't give us Cody and Roman too soon, lah.
Oh, okay. I think you're reading too much into it. I think he's just putting stuff there to troll.
Oh, is it? He's a troller.
He's just throwing in just random shit. But I get your point.
Okay. Another one. Sportscaster podcast.
That's Jason, bro.
Oh, now he changed his podcast.
He changed his name. Jason from Brunei. Yeah.
No one enjoyed Randy versus Wyatt family feud.
I mean that was the point in Randy's career where he was coasting, right? And then there was the whole culmination at WrestleMania, maggots projection, not real maggots projected onto the mat. I think every legend is allowed some bullshit feuds and some low times. Like we had Undertaker versus fake Undertaker. You know?
He had Undertaker's Heidenreich.
Yeah,
but I guess Randy went through a period where he could have fallen into obscurity, like 2012 to 2013. Like he was doing stupid feuds. He was like fighting Kane at WrestleMania. He wasn't like the number one guy. Yep. But somehow Randy has reached a level where he's bulletproof. Like you can put him in a tag team title picture right now. But next month, you want to put him against Roman Reigns, he will be perfect.
Yeah, I can. He's reached that level already, lah.
Yeah. So, like, good for him in that sense. I think his biggest thing is his longevity. He put it out just now. I think on social media, there was an interview. He said that I think he's gonna outlast Roman Reigns, because he said when Roman Reigns goes to Hollywood, he'll still be here. Such a troll, right?
Yeah, he is. Well, maybe he's angling. I mean, he is feuding with the Bloodline right now, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's probably a little bit of truth, a little bit of work and shoot in there. That's it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out here on the podcast today. It's been a solid almost 2 hours and 20 minutes of talking about this week in wrestling and Randy Orton's career. What an amazing career. Of course, we look forward to more. And of course, Backlash, will they, will Randy and Riddle unify the tag team titles, or will it be in the Uso camp? Actually, this is an early prediction. What do you think would work better?
I think Usos would work better only if it progresses a Randy versus Riddle breakup, my opinion.
Okay. And then really make the Bloodline even stronger than it was.
Yeah. I just don't see Randy wanting to hold the titles for too long as a tag team. Yeah, so if he has another run as a unified tag team champion, I don't know how long, but of course they still have a lot of goodwill. So I'm not saying that is definite.
True. Oh, okay. That aside, let's go lead our regular lives, shall we?
Yeah. I think let's call it a day.
Yes.
I hope you guys enjoy our Randy Orton Nerd Fest for him. Please watch the Randy Orton YouTube video or show or match or documentary, in honor of the 20-year career that he has had.
Absolutely. As always, all our links are in the description for our Discord if you haven't already joined, our Patreon page, and of course all our social media accounts as well. We'll be back again next Monday. More wrestling to talk about as we get closer and closer to WrestleMania Backlash. I love how they sneak in the word WrestleMania in there to try to make it sound more important, but it's really just Backlash. Come on.
So Backlash will be the topic of next week, and I guess confirm there's some crap that will happen this week in wrestling as well. Raw, SmackDown,
AEW.
Dynamite.
If anything, there's always something to talk about in AEW, so let's go.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man.
All right, have a great week ahead, everybody. Anything else you want to plug?
Nah, I'm good. Can't wait for Hari Raya. Because next week's Hari Raya, bro.
Next week is a holiday. Actually, May Day as well as Hari Raya.
Okay, we'll let you know how our schedule is going to be like. Maybe we'll sneak in a podcast episode on the Monday. I think it's still possible. But
should be. Okay, I will be streaming Elden Ring again tonight on my Twitch channel. Mister Young 98, come join me to watch me play video games. I usually play WWE 2K22 on Friday afternoons, actually, if you want a wrestling related game on Twitch. But yeah, that's quick mention too. Every time I look at like WWE 2K now, the numbers are dropping. So getting worse. I feel sad as a fan of pro wrestling. I'm sad, but it is what it is. Okay.
So no wrestling content, video game content for us like this.
Well, I mean, we can still do it on YouTube. It's just
whether we want to do it.
All right, everybody, have yourselves a great week ahead. It's Mr. Young,
and it's Foreign in the building.
Kick to the gut. I like it.